Wild. Right, Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First, I have to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Waharakah, Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honor to you, brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And you know what, man, we were just talking before. See, you know, Esau's got the world messed up, man. He's got us thinking that we're supposed to be in a mix bag, mix up, and you know, you're surrounded by strangers, basically, conversating with strangers, just constantly surrounded by strangers. Like your neighbors are random people from next place you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're just constantly around strangers. Your children constantly around strangers, and not only strangers, people that ain't even from your nation. No, hold on, they're not even from your tribe. They're not even from your nation. They're just out there. They're aliens. You look up that word. You're just surrounded by aliens, and that's how you're supposed to want it to be. Nah, that ain't how it's supposed to be. You're mainly supposed to be around your own people, man. Your own people, your own family, your own tribe. Now there can be people that's not of that ilk, but it ain't supposed to be like so many of them. Yeah, segregation is how it's really supposed to be, or a form of segregation, and that's righteousness, man. All right, this thing, Jake got it all twisted. Like they want to be mix up with Esau, Edom, and other nations. It's not supposed to really be like that, man. And it's better to be around your own, right? It's better to be around your own. It's better to be around your own family. It's just better all the way around. And we're gonna break it down.
Just how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's in the natural. Look in the wild. Look in the wild. Now we're not saying everything in the wild is, but look at how the animals interact in the wild. They band together in their clans and in their families. Yep. And they come across the other clans and families on the borderline. Not all mix up. Yep. That's where you get all these problems, man. In these cities, the city is a melting pot. Too much mix up are going. Right. And the people that embrace that the most is our people. Where you going?
What was I say, man? You don't see, like the gazelle in the cheetah territory, bro. You know what I mean? That's where the cheetahs are, where the domain is. You ain't gonna see the gazelle there. Now the cheetah, when it's time to hunt, they go into their domain, because that's where they're together. You know what I'm saying? But we're not really meant to be like that. Yeah, we have interactions. As humans, we might do trade or whatever. But in terms of living, we are around our own people, man, because we have our own diverse ways from each other, and that's how the Lord set up to be. That's why the Lord divided the nations. Huh?
Yeah, let's get that, man. That's the first and foremost. The Lord divided the nations so that we live in different borders. So the vast majority of people that you're meant to be around is supposed to be your own people within your borders, man. And then there might be a few strangers day and day about, but few and far between. Or they might be in slavery, which means even it's still a form of segregation there, because they're in a lower class. Go on up.
I just want to grab this one first, right? It's from Genesis chapter 10 and verse 32, right? And the Lord states this: so these are the families of the sons of Noah after their generations in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Right? So the Lord even separated the brothers. Because the Lord wanted to make them separate nations.
Different nations. It's called the Table of Nations. And then each one of them had their own lands and their borders. Yep. That they lived in their territories, man. So the way it worked is, like, you got to think about it. Like, let's say you lived in a village. A village consisted of highly related people. Yep. People were highly related, and this brother, I'm sure where you're from. No, I'm not singling you out, because it's the same thing for me. When you go back to your village, coming like there's a cousin over there, there's a cousin there. There's a cousin here, you know what I'm saying? These men are distant cousin. Them ones there, people are related. And then that makes your children even more safe, because familiarity brings what? More generosity, more safety, more protection, because there's familiarity. Strangeness, anything can go on. Because man don't know you from Adam. Man don't owe you nothing, man. There's no relation there. You know what I'm saying? You're safer in a village where the families are interconnected, rather than a village where this man from this or that man from this, so they just happen to be just living in the same place. But really, they don't really have no ties.
We've got a duty to one another. But we ain't got a duty to strangers like that.
Man, are just out there like you don't know these people. They're on different timings, different culture. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be like that. You see how it's read. So if you was like in the ancient world, really, if you were from the tribe of Benjamin, 99% of the people you interacted with on a daily basis was Benjamin. Probably from your small family group or your clan. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it's supposed to be, and that's how it's gonna go back to being, because all the borders are gonna be set up again. Tired of living like this, man. That's how it was when I was living in Montserrat. I could tell you straight. I lived here. My uncle lived below me there. My auntie lived below me there. Right? You had the old lady up there. She was some kind of, because everybody's some kind of family somehow. There's there's some kind of relation there. And that breeds more. There was more safety in that. You could travel out and people know you. They know your father. They know your mother. You just walk up into the garden and them roast breadfruit. They bust you a piece. Oh yeah. With the society we're living in, bro, your youths move like 1 minute around the corner. You don't know them motherfuckers. You don't know what's going on. They don't know you. They ain't got no reason for nothing. It's all messed up, man. Could be Edomites.
And whereas we're a minority, man, it's dangerous everywhere we go.
Edomites, demons, everything.
Yep.
Aliens. Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, man. But we've been told, yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, everything has to be mixed. You have to go to school and the school's mixed. Bag of mixed people. You go to a restaurant. You gotta go to an Edomites restaurant. Jake wanna go to the Edomite restaurant. Jake wanna go to where the heathens are. And it's hella corny and hella bad vibes. It always is. Hella corny, hella bad vibes, because they don't want you there. But you are, no, I must go. I must be there. Among who? Yeah, just go among your own people. It's a better vibe. That's how it should be. Remember you had that thing with them black bitches with Chris Brown. Damn well know that they don't let nigger bitches and niggas into them certain of them clubs in central London. You know this. They let the blonde bombshells in there. Then I don't give a fuck how good looking you are. As long as you got that melanin, they ain't letting you in on a normal day. And Chris Brown's there, and they were all upset. Oh, they didn't let me in. Of course they didn't let you in. Go to your own clubs. Same for them bitches did in France. They didn't let them bitches in. The bouncer even told them, listen, man, I suggest you go somewhere else. The bouncer was doing them a favor. Because if you let them in that restaurant, them crackers would have been looking like, what the fuck are these? And you're eating your food and the vibrations is all wrong. The man probably spitting in your food like, what is this nigga doing here? Supposed to be segregated, man. We're supposed to want to be among our own. In work, having to conversate with heathens and shit. When you know full well outside work, you would never talk to these people. And you don't want to.
Yeah, so again, Genesis 10 and 5 says, but these were the isles of the Gentiles, of the nations, right? Divided in their lands, right? So the Lord took so like that's going up, jumping up, right? I was reading verse 32 before. But the Lord separated the nations from Noah's sons. So they even took Noah's brothers and separated them, man. And said, man, you're gonna become your own thing. You're gonna become your own thing. You're gonna become your own thing. And this is where we have all the different nations today, but they're all separated.
And you know what comes with being a minority among another people? Persecution, bad vibes. You're in another man's house, so you know what it's like in a man's house. A man could be in his own house. Someone that's from that house does something, and it gets winked at. And you do the exact thing, and it's gonna be highlighted. Isn't it true? If you're in England and they see a white man running down the street, yeah, he just stole something from Superdrug. The crackers is gonna be like, he's a vagrant. Yeah.
Someone trying to excuse it.
But you know what I mean? They're not gonna. But let that, if it's a so-called black man, it's a highlighted. See them fucking niggas, yeah, they're thieves. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, hold on. You know why you pay? Because we're in a minority. That's naturally gonna happen. That's naturally going to happen because you're a target, you're a minority, and you're not really wanted. You're a sore thumb, and they're going to want you to assimilate to be like them rather than them to be like you. They're expecting you. You're in my house. You're supposed to be like me, talk like me, walk like me, talk English. That's the energy that you're going to get.
And say when they don't, they're not approve of what you're doing or whatever, man. Always go back to your country or whatever. You know, go back. You know,
that's why you're supposed to have your own, man.
Mr. Penalty, man.
Oh, Mr. Penalty, that's it.
Monkey, you know what I mean?
Oh, that picture was wild. That shit was funny, man. Wow.
You know, because they got no real affiliation with you, man. They got no real connection to you.
No familiarity. You're not familiar. You know what I mean? So this whole thing is out of whack, man. That's why we got to go back to our borders, man. I'm tired of this shit.
The thing is, Esau makes it about skin color, which is dumb.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not really about that, man. Right? We're just different nations. Lord made different nations, different ways.
You got different ways, different vibe. And then when you have to like acquiesce yourself to another man's vibration, it gets corny, man. Go on. Is there more on that? Or
that was what I wanted.
Look at Deuteronomy 32:8 is a good one as well.
Sirach chapter 33 verse 11 says, in much knowledge the Lord have divided them and made their ways diverse.
The Lord himself has made every people to have their own way, and there's nothing wrong with that. There can be an evil to that, but there can be a good to that. Everybody ain't got to be the same. Like everybody weren't really meant to be robots. Even among the Israel and the tribes, don't you think the different tribes had a different style? Overall, obviously we wear the borders of blue, but don't you think they would have had different vibes, different color schemes, different individuality? Different, you'll be able to tell, oh, that clan there, that's what them man are on, or that clan or that tribe, yeah, that's how them man deal with things. You're gonna get that. And even among the different nations, they're gonna have their own different ways, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody ain't got to be the same.
Their own, different types of glory. You know. I know, like the Caribbean, they always got the dish.
Yeah.
You won't find that dish in another. You might find the dish, but
it's different.
The same. Yeah, it will be the same. Right?
Like them Jamaicans,
this place is known for that.
They got the Manish water, and Montreal we got the goat water. It's sweeter than honey, you know. That's the proper thing, the goat water. I don't know about the Manish water thing, but that's what them man do. You know what I mean? And then what is it? The Bayesian man, them have, what's it called? Something dung. Forgot what the hell the name is now. It's basically like a soup, man. I don't even know why they call it anything. Rundown or something like that. You know, we got different things in it. You know.
But I say it's all part of the character of the tribes.
Because
we all different characters. We've been when the Lord describes us, we've been described as like different animals and things like that, different gemstones. We're different. We just got our own thing going on.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, but it's the same with the rest of the nations. They've got their own thing going on, man. The Lord said he gave the nations unto the idols, man. So they're obviously different. They obviously don't know what the hell is going on.
They're different. They look, a lot of times, I mean, generally speaking, they're going to look different, you know?
And if you can't, be the same, like, you can't do the same thing, you're going to do things differently, isn't it? Like, this man, Esau can't dance, so what is he going to do? You can't make up a dance like we make up dances. So you got to do something else, you know? So he does the fist pump, all that shit.
They got their own thing, man. Let them enjoy it. Go on.
Yeah, so it's like, if we read up, I meant to read verse 10, says, Sirach 33:10, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created on earth, right? So yeah, we're all from the earth, right? So in much knowledge hath the Lord have divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them he hath blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places. The
Lord do what he will with men, whether it's on a national level, tribal level, or an individual level.
Yep.
Now, if it's on a national level, Israel, the Lord sanctified Israel to be his people. That's a fact. People want to cry about that man like Vocab Malone and that want to, even though they represent so-called white supremacy, they want to cry about it. But it just is what it is. Israel is a chosen people, the sons of the Heavenly Father, right? And we're in a different, it's even better than we're in a different category designation to these other nations. We're VIPs. You know, like say when you go in a club, I know a certain man, that they don't treat everyone equally. You get the line. Well, you might get 3 lines. You get the normal line, and you're gonna see all the broke people there, and they're just in the normal line. Then you get the early bird man that took the fast track ticket. So they might, but that line's shorter, but there's still a line. There's a bagger man in that line, but there's a bagger man in the other line. Then you get the VIP dons that roll up to the bouncer, show a thing, and they just moved through with however man plus 10, whatever they got with them. And when they go through, they're not going to the same bar. They're not even in the same section. They're in the VIP section. And not anyone can get in there. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in a different category. That's Israel. We're VIP. We're separated from everyone else. Literally.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. So for thou art an holy people unto the Lord. And again, that word holy means separate.
Separate.
You know,
Different.
sanctified is separate from other things that are not sanctified. You know?
Yeah, them other people are common. We're holy. We're royal. And there's nothing wrong with royalty. There's nothing wrong with. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, Jake, something, because you've been twisted. You've been under the cosh for so long that you just want to be equal. You want everything to be equal. You want to cry and all that. No, listen, we're not on that tip. Yeah, pause. Yeah, we're on no tip. Listen to how the thing go. Right? There's nothing wrong with privilege. Yeah, because Jake got a problem with privilege, boy. There's nothing wrong with being born into something or inheriting something. Because Jake just don't like that idea. For Jake, you gotta be Jake's badge of honor is started from the bottom, now we here or some shit. Or I come from the streets. You ain't gotta come from the streets. I don't know who made them rules. that's stupid. Why you want to start life on maximum difficulty?
Why so what's the call? It's country, man. Because why are you trying to build then?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
If you build, then your sons are gonna have, because that's the idea of a father. You're trying to make your son better off than you.
You know how Jake be, if you got a man and he's successful, his dad was successful, and he's successful. Oh, you're only successful because you're a daddy. Well, well, keep coping. Keep coping. Well, you could cope. Why does that devalue the man? Because his dad did what he had to do, and now he's doing what he's got to do. That's how it's supposed to be. Our laws, many of our laws regard what? Inheritance. We were never supposed to be a people where you're starting from scratch or you're starting from the bottom. What kind of foolishness is that? The only reason we do that is because we're a people that's been robbed and spoiled continually. So we always got to be starting from the bottom, from scratch. But that's not. There's nothing wrong with your daddy got money. What's wrong with that? Oh, your daddy, you know?
Because the scripture say you're born to a curse. You come into this world in a curse, right? You go out as a curse. So you might have even built something, you might have even gained something, so you lose it all. That's why Jake not fucking broke.
Yeah, broke, man.
They lived that fast life and then had that fucking car crash, man.
Jake talking about these are the same Jake that want to talk about generational money, but then they look down on people who come from generational money. It's crazy. Nah, so there's nothing wrong with privilege. There's nothing wrong with inheritance. There's nothing wrong with royalty. Some people are inherently born to just be better. And that is actually us, the Israelites. We're inherently born by virtue of just being born, not doing anything extra. We're special. That's a fact. That's a biblical fact. That's a royal seed, right? You got the royal people, like the Prince Harry, the Queen, and them. They're born into a royal place. We're a royal nation. There's nothing wrong with that.
And albeit, although that, we haven't lived up to the office, okay, the time's going to come that we will.
100%.
So you might say, yeah, but we're not fit to do this. Well, no, currently not fit to do shit right now.
But
that doesn't change the fact.
The ingredients.
Yeah. That doesn't
change the fact that the raw ingredients, man, the inherentness of our nature because of our seed. And that's something that it's not fair. Of course it's not fair. But life ain't fair. That's one thing you're going to learn when you read these scriptures. If the scriptures was fair and equal, then everybody, well...
I want to change that a little bit, right? Because it's not equal, but it is fair. Right? It is fair because the Most High desired to be that way. And the Most High get to choose, what he want to give people and what he don't want to give people, man.
Yeah, fair. It is what it is, man.
It's just not equal.
Hey, some men have got the genetics. That's life, man. Some men have got crazy genetics and some men don't. Not everyone can be an elite athlete. I promise you this, yeah? Like, remember in school, you used to get certain dons that were tall and they couldn't jump.
Yeah.
It don't matter how much plyometrics they did. They were never going to be able to jump. And there'll be a guy that was shorter than them, who, like me, who would always out jump them. Genetics. Now, I was born with my genetics. I can work and increase my potential to my full potential, but your full potential is always going to be limited by your genetics. Where does your genetics come from? You're born with it. You know, that just shows you the nature of life, man. Everything ain't equal, and you know what I mean? And you just got to deal with what it is. Be an adult about it, like, yeah, man. You know, Esau the devil, man. He was born that way.
Yeah, yeah.
He was born. We're the Israelites, man.
That's it. Right. But back here, Deuteronomy 7 verse 6, it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth."
Now, what proves that we are a special people unto the Lord? Well, the Lord has always been dealing with us. The Lord has always been concerned with us. If you read the Bible, the star of the show, the center of the Bible is surrounding the people of Israel. Because let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question now. Show me the book in the Bible that doesn't involve Israelites. Now you might say, oh, well, you know, you got the book of Genesis. Yeah, but if you look at it, the book of Genesis, isn't it dealing with this?
It's the prelude.
It's the seed, isn't it? It's the seed line of Israel.
Yeah.
When it's dealing with Abraham, who's Abraham? You see, when it's dealing with Isaac.
Yeah, he mentioned these other families or whatever, but who did he focus on after that was all done and told? Israel. That was the point. That was the setup to what's going on.
Even when you go into the Genesis and it's going down through the lineages, right? It starts to key in on the lineage and it goes into Abraham, because it's still all about Israel at the end of the day. It's all connected to Israel.
The line of the chosen.
There ain't no book in the Bible where you're gonna be like, it's a prophet from Edom and it's the people of Edom and the Lord's talking up to the king of Edom and saying this, that, and that. Where is it at? If the Bible is a book of humanity and a book of mankind, why has the Lord not been dealing with the other nations? No, it said a people unto himself. The Lord has always been dealing with the Israelites. When he went in Babylon, he didn't care really about Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon. He cared about the Israelites in Babylon. That was all part of our story. They were just a character in extra character in our story. It's about the Israelites. So that's why when you get into the new covenant, the New Testament, where is it again? In Judea. Among who? The Israelites.
It's Isaiah 45 and 4. It says, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect." So that's how we know who the elect are, man. We know who the servants of the Most High is, right? "I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee." Is not our name Israel? Is that not our surname? Is that not where we're from?
You're the prince
of the power.
Which is everyone a prince? No.
Why did the Most High name Jacob Israel? Most High, as he promised Isaac, Abraham, took him into himself, man.
As a prince, Yah has power with God.
That's right. And he see that come after him, because now they're all surnamed after him. We all bear that name. You know?
And we are gonna have that power.
Lord ain't surname, he didn't give his surname to no one else.
Hey, we're the inheritors. You know, let me say this, man. We're the inheritors of the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, not these Edomites. These Edomites got the made in China power. You know that made in China thing. You know, let me tell you something, man. Let me educate. Yeah, because you know when you're poor, right? You know what you do? You make an excuse for why you buy cheap shit, innit? Oh yeah, like it's value for money. It ain't. It ain't. It really is. The truth is, rarely will you pay for something that's cheap and it was actually value for money. Do you know how many things I've bought on the cheap, yeah? And it's just broken. Buy quality costs, man. Now, obviously, you might have a thing that is overpriced. But the reality of the thing is, quality costs, innit? There's a difference between a pair of Timbs and them boots you're gonna get made in China from Temu that cost you like £5, innit? I guarantee you there's gonna be a difference in comfort, quality of the materials. It's just true. Esau Edom right now, his arrogance, because you see brothers are talking about the harp and this technology and that technology that Esau has. You could add up all that technology and put it in a ball. It's made in China. Esau, they're saying, which could be, could not be. I don't know if it's true. The harp, they have the harp thing. I don't know if every hurricane is Esau. Some of them could be, some could not be. But let's say Esau is causing hurricanes, right? But the Lord already did that. His thing's made in China. His thing, he got to power it up. He got to do all that. The Lord speaketh. Now, let me see if he could silence a storm, because you go into the scriptures, there was a storm, right?
Yep.
And the Lord silenced the storm. He didn't power up. He didn't have to take all kind of resources and, yeah, we're going to do this and research. And the Lord just said, yo, chill.
Them man will have saying, what manner of man is this?
What manner of man?
You know,
The Lord silenced the so the Lord's already trumped anything Esau. Esau's arrogance is way and far beyond his power. The Lord said the things that he did, we're going to do and greater, because the Lord is going to be with us. We're really the inheritors of great power. Esau's not the inheritor of great power. His power, he got the Timu thing. Timu, that's his thing. His thing is the 99 cents free delivery thing. That's going to take 80 days to come from China and break in 5 days. You know what I'm saying? It's just true, man. His thing ain't right, man. It's something not right. Like, you know them, you get them knockoff cents. Oh yeah, and they're trying to promote it on TikTok all the damn time. Listen, just buy the real thing. I'll tell you, I promise you. Just save up and get the real quality. Yeah, don't waste your time with them knockoffs. Motherfuckers start tearing off your skin, or it's just got this off scent that's not completely right because they ain't got the right. They don't have the right recipe. It's bullshit, man. I'm telling you the truth, man. Esau, he ain't the inheritor of power. We are. Real quick, get me John, the book of John. We're the sons of God. He ain't, man. Esau's not. He's not inherited power. He's inherited destruction. Yeah, punk. John 1, as many as. Yeah, that one. Yeah, give me that. Fuck Esau, man. Esau. It's just arrogance, man. Oh, I'm gonna make meat. Everything Esau does is just, it's arrogance, because the reality is the Lord already made meat, and it's delicious. He made meat, and guess what? The Lord had it where, and then someone actually did a meme like that. Yo, imagine the scientists have just invented a machine that like cuts the grass, yeah, creates fertilizer, right, and makes milk, yeah, and makes delicious meat and self-replicates. Yeah, the Most High did that. It's called a cow, and it's hella delicious, man. And the oxtail is sweeter than honey. But he's, Esau grows some grotesqueness in the lab, and we're meant to go, wow, man, fuck this dude, man. This dude's made in China.
That's organic.
You wait to our kingdom, and you're gonna see true power and true revelations, man. This man's sauce is weak. He's that Tesco brand. You know that Tesco brand beans.
I never had that.
Yeah, under the curses like that, you know.
Well, it's only 20p difference.
Hey, but there is a difference between the Heinz and the fucking Tesco brand.
I've actually gone through different beans and tried, just to see in it, man. Yeah, they are different.
It's fucking different, man. Good. Even rice, there's different quality of rice. When you get that super cheap rice, the shit's all fucking falling apart and squidgy, and it's fucked.
It's like cheap wine. Right?
Oh yeah,
it's like cheap wine, right? Because we know the process of wine now is mainly it's fermenting and squashed and that. But really, what you're getting when you buy this cheap wine is the lowest quality of that
grape,
that
everything.
Batch,
yeah,
of that particular
grape. And grape, because
quality of grapes and stuff like that. You're getting the lowest batch. You might get the full carrots and that. You're getting like the rubbish grapes, the rubbish batch of that crop in it, right?
Carrot, like.
And you're just getting like the dregs, really. That's why they can sell it for £5, £6 or whatever.
And you think you're getting a deal,
but you got the same, like let's say Chardonnay, right? You got like a cheap Chardonnay, you got expensive Chardonnay. That expensive Chardonnay is like I said, expensive.
There's a fucking difference.
There's a difference. It has to be, right?
And then just like there's a difference between the power we're gonna receive and this bullshit that Esau got. Like it's bullshit.
Because one thing's true, Esau don't waste nothing, man. You don't wait. He'll sell you everything
But
and anything, man.
he eats shit, man. That's what we heard the man doing in the
He'll
parties.
sell you
Anyway,
everything, man.
hey, go go that good.
This book of St. John 1
So eat
and
shit.
11. He
Boy.
came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Gut hurting.
But as many
Oh God.
as he received him,
Yeah.
to them gave he power to become the sons of Most High.
Gave him power to become the sons of the Most High. Now, son of the Most High, man, is a powerful being. That's a being of power. You know, Esau, like the arrogance I'm seeing this man exhibit, man's talking about we're gonna be gods. Bro, you ain't gonna be shit, man. You some fucking, what kind of gods are you, man? Nigga, you look old. What are you talking about, man? You look like Nosferatu, man. Nigga, you know what I mean? These people are, it's absolute arrogance what these guys are portraying to the world. You're nowhere near being a god. You're as far from God as I am from an ant, from being godly in any way, any kind of godlike power. It's just weirdo shit, and that's why you're gonna crash and burn, man, in a devastating fashion, man. The Lord is gonna expose you. You know, like that. You know what it is? Your hype job. That's what it is. You gotta say it like that. You just like one of them boxers fighting bums. You know what I mean? Fighting taxi drivers and tomato cans, padding up that record, getting KOs against bums, avoiding the elite level competition. And at one time you face an elite level fighter, you get beat down so bad. Your mother, is bawling blood, no doubt. Your mother's breasts were hurting blood. That's how bad you got beat, man. Cause that's what women do. You know, when they feel that pain, man. They hold the teeth because it's hurting. That's how bad you get. That's called getting. There's a difference in you just got beat and when you get exposed. Esau's gonna get exposed, man.
Throw in the tail.
But he's a god. What's wrong with this guy? Ooh.
Well, the Lord speaks of us like worms, man. Right? Because the condition that we're in, we have no power, no way to defend ourselves. Because the Most High is a defense, and he, took that away from us, right? Esau is like a fucking mosquito.
Yeah, he gonna be a worm too. Cause we're gonna put him in slavery. He's gonna be in the pits, man. Fuck's this guy talking about, man? That's why it's this. The more you study these scriptures and pride, the haughty spirit cometh before destruction. You really analyze what this guy's done on the earth. He ain't really done nothing. He ain't done nothing especially he ain't done nothing. Everything he's made, the Most High's already made it and it's better. Everything he has is literally made in China, knockoff shit, man. It's crazy. Anyway, let's keep it going. Is that it on that? Yeah.
Even to them that believe on his name.
That's right. So believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and the scripture says what? No man cometh to the Father but by me. Yep. Well, that's how you know that only pertains to Israel, because the Lord already said we're going to be a people unto himself. We're the only people the Lord's dealing with, that the Lord's near unto. The Lord ain't near to these other nations. They can't come up in the section. And the proof of that is the temple. I keep referring back to the Lord. Who designed the temple? First of all, who designed the temple? It wasn't man. The Lord gave the design for the temple. Now, why did the Lord design the temple to have an outer court? The Lord did an outer court. The heathens couldn't come into the court of Israel, nor the court of the women, which was for Israelite women. A heathen couldn't even go into the court of the women. That's death. You understand? They can't come in nowhere near the holy places. That's the Lord's doing, and it's still like that to this day.
Well, these small hats, man, they gotta sit by a wall, right? They can't even go there now. They're kind of stuck outside, But that's how it's supposed to be. These men they're not us.
They defile.
They were never gonna beat us.
Their very presence would defile, because they're inherently unclean. They're inherently unholy. There's nothing they can. In fact, show me in the scriptures how a heathen could make themselves holy. They couldn't.
But this is the point I was gonna make, right? Because although you had converts over the years, guess what? They were still heathen. They still would not have been allowed.
They wouldn't have been allowed to come into the court of Israel. They had to. That's what the outer court was for. The outer court was for heathens to come and pray.
Yeah. Right. So it didn't matter, because there's a bit. There was Edomite, Judaism and Edomites, and that don't matter. None of that matters. No, it doesn't matter what they believe. They are not the chosen people. They cannot go there.
They ain't got the right DNA.
They got the right credentials.
They ain't got the right
They
credentials.
ain't got
Man.
it, right? And
It's
that's the
not
thing
there.
we put out there. This who and what we are is a privileged position on the earth that the Most High decided for himself. We didn't get to decide that. We're not deciding for ourselves that yeah, we're special. We didn't get to decide that, right? The Most High decided that for us, man, and dubbed everybody that came out of the loins of Jacob was special,
Yep.
right? That wasn't by our choice, but we will fulfill that role, you know, even though it don't look like that right now, you know. The Lord will exalt his people, the ones he surnamed, right?
Mhm.
Because I was going to say this, I'm trying to finish this off quickly. From Isaiah 45, verse 4. At the end of it, it says, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So it's not even down to whether or not they believed or not. And this is the point. When we come into the time of the Gentiles and the Israelite foreigners and that, they didn't know nothing,
Yeah. And the Lord said he would not forsake Abraham's seed.
right?
So even though you know, we were in ignorant of the Lord ain't ignorant of us, because the Bible says our God is a God of knowledge.
Mhm.
And he made a covenant with Abraham concerning the seed of Israel. You know, so the Lord, even though we go off and you don't know nothing, and that's why scripture I have found of them that sought me not. You know,
Right. And that's because the Lord has chosen you, you've not chosen him.
oh, that's another good scripture.
That's how it operates. It doesn't matter like what our condition is, whether or not we believe or not, right? Because we're still the Lord's chosen people, regardless of what's going on with us, man. And that's what you even hate, because you think, oh, because we're fucking degenerates now, most of us, right? You think that you can get to take the spot now. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, you know, and even in the, you know, that's why the scriptures speak about the accuser of our brethren, because their thing, if they can keep us corrupted and in sin, which is part of, you know, Esau's fallback plan. His thing is like, if we can keep these niggas, that's why they continually subvert our people in a wicked way. That's why they pay off these celebrities, and then the media is always trying to push wickedness on Jake, because they want to keep Jake corrupted and dirty and unclean, because in their mindset, as long as they can do that, then we can never receive our inheritance, and they can take it. They can say, oh, but look at them, they're meant to be, you know, the people of God, but look how disgusting they are. But that's why the scripture says what? The beautiful thing about the scripture, the straight rebuttals. Like, what does it say in that same chapter? It says what, man? And they overcame him. They acclaimed the accuser. They overcame him by the blood of the lamb and the word of their testimony. Yahweh Shai made a sacrifice that though we be corrupted, though we be fallen, that we would have remission of sins and be redeemed and be placed in our proper position and calling. So all that what you're doing with Nicki Minaj and Drake and all what you're doing is really going to be for naught, because the Lord is going to deliver the elect and you're going to be, you know, destroyed.
And like I say, Esau thinks he's slick with all these methods of manipulation, control that he's putting out there, right? But everything he does is downing himself, bringing himself upon himself more damnation, right?
Oh, the woe unto him that.
Right?
Yeah.
I've got 2 and 15 says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that
Yeah.
putteth thy bottle to him. Woe unto him, destruction unto him. You
Yeah,
think
it's
you're
wicked.
keeping us down by doing all this fucking subversion bullshit, right? But you're fucking bringing destruction upon yourself, man. You ain't slick, right? So that puts thy bottle to him
And you know who's at the head of that, right? You knows who's at the head of that, right?
You knows.
Yeah, if you smell. Yeah, y'all knows, you knows who's at the head of that, right? Do I need to say it? Who's
You don't.
these media companies and these music industries and behind the scenes, even in the universities, you knows who's running all that, right? We knows.
Even the food industry, they are the one who in control, isn't it?
Everything,
They put them in. There's stuff that we're not supposed to eat. So
Yeah. Oh, they knows.
everything.
They knows, man.
Oh, yeah, there's Batty Hammer over there. I see that.
He knows as well. Yeah, we know what the game is. We know what the agenda is. They go to these Jakes, man, and butter them up with the money That's why the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And then they get Jake to lead our people in a path that's destructive, even when they themselves are not leading that life or leading them. Because how many of these lot have come out and said, "Oh, I wouldn't let my children listen to my music," or "I wouldn't do this and do that," and they're all sending their children to universities and all that, and but meanwhile, what they're promoting in the music is something completely different. Why? Because they're paid to spread that demonic vitriol, man. And then even down to their relationships in life, right? Esau basically gets them to constantly be getting married and divorced, and all of the relationship drama you see happening with these celebrities, a lot of that's orchestrated, because when you're looking up to because remember, these celebrities are basically the modern day nobles. What's a noble? A noble is supposed to be someone you look up to, right? They are the nobles, because a noble is supposed to be what? A successful, rich person among the people.
Educated, smart.
Yeah, all educated. Yeah, so yeah, all of that. Now we don't really have nobles on the most part. Our nobles now that they put out front that the people look up to, like Jay-Z. I know niggas that they hang off every word this nigga say. Oh yeah, cause Jay-Z, like they look like he's a noble. Like
He's supposed to be educated, right? So they believe these guys are
man's knighted because he got the money and the but Beyonce, these black women, they worship Beyonce, the Queen Bee, and all these different celebrities, man. And their lives are orchestrated by the elites to subvert the minds of the people. So they're always going to end up in some drama or some bullshit that's going to tear them down or tear up the family. And then that trickles on down to the people, man. Because they're not good examples. And then, like we said last week about Terence Crawford, don't be surprised if they start tearing Terence Crawford down. You see him getting into a bag of drama and all that, because they don't want that. They don't really want Jakes that's got their shit together to be an example of being orderly. They like the disorderly Negro.
Yeah. Well, we control them, manipulated them.
The Kiki Palmer shit and Usher and all that drama. That's what they love. The blue face and whatever that bitch's name is, man.
The corruptible Jake. You know what I mean? The weak-minded Jake. That's what he so likes, because he likes to control and manipulate everything, right? And like what we were saying about the whole money, because that's what you niggas chase after, right? That's why you get corrupted, right? A gift destroyeth the heart, you know? And Jake is susceptible to that, because man are so poor. It's like, oh, I can't say no to this.
Get to the back, because that's the number one thing right now that's messing our people up for a long time. The idea that, we're so down bad. Not only are we down bad, but we're also very covetous towards luxury. So it's like it's double. We're poor, but at the same time, we want the most. Like we want the top luxury, right? So then it's like when you get that combination in, what's most important becomes the bag. So you like the rap songs say, do what you gotta do if it's getting you shit. So it don't matter if you gotta sell crack cocaine to your grandmother or do it. Yeah, it doesn't matter what wickedness you do. The ends justify the means. As long as at the end of that you get a bag. And then that's why you see now they keep having these highlighting the few OnlyFans girls that make money. If you notice that, and then they make sure that they do articles on them and they get them on these podcasts and they're speaking and they keep talking about the money that they're making. But she's making a lot of money, right? And then it's like, but your kids are gonna live life of maximum difficulty, because that's damaging that you're doing that, socially damaging to them. Yeah, but they can cry in their Lamborghini. Like, so that, you know what I mean? The only thing that's important is luxury goods, luxury lifestyle, and money.
Well, check out, there's plenty of rich and famous people that are fucking ODing and hanging,
committing suicide and shit.
Because their life is fucked.
Yeah, because if you're a damaged individual, you're gonna take that money and then use that money to destroy yourself. That's why you got people, they take all their money, spend it on cocaine, crack, because the money is just a tool. But if you're damaged on the inside, you're going to use that money to destroy yourself, because you're self-destructive. And having a mom that's an OnlyFans guaranteed to leave you down a self-destructive path.
The scripture says, give me any plague but the plague of the mind. But you can't fix that, man. You fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Money ain't going to fix that.
Yeah,
you're going to go see a psychiatrist.
Well, you can fix it at the bottom of a bottle. You got to find the fix for it at the bottom of a bottle.
You sit there on the chair paying dumb money for some psychiatrist to fucking analyze you, man. But all that really stops the pain is the cocaine.
cocaine and the self-destructive
Next thing
behavior.
You know, yeah, you're in a car crash or whatever, man. You just fucked, you know.
But you see that, you know, this world is promoting the lust, man, lust, covetousness. That's what Instagram was set up to do. Instagram was set up to basically have people lusting after luxurious lives and being able to promote a fake version of that. And then the more people are promoting that fake version, the more people think, oh, I should be having that. And then so everyone's chasing this soft life, this luxury life, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get to that. Sell their soul even, just so that they could go on a 5-star holiday, not knowing that, but you're broken on the inside. You thought it was going to bring you happiness just because you could go to Dubai. Fool. You should have listened to the Bible, man. The love of money, the root of all evil, man.
There we go.
Yeah, go on.
The book of Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduce them.
And that's the way, because your own people will tell you, yeah, get to the money, get to the bag, get to the money. They're encouraging you to go get that money. Yeah, do what you got to do, get that money. You got to pay your bills, man.
And if you ain't talking like that, look, it's something wrong with you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of ways to pay your bills. You don't have to fucking sell your soul and sell your dignity and your honor to pay your bills. That's foolishness, man. There's a thing I always say: you never sell what you can't buy back, and you can't buy back your honor. Once you sell your honor, you can't buy it back, you know. Man's out there, grown men out there putting on a dress. Now your sons, there's nothing you could do could take that back. Your ass is out there busting it down in a dress. Your sons, they're gonna see that, and then nothing you could say to your son. They're gonna internalize that. Yo, my dad was wearing a dress. Next thing you know, your son's sucking dick.
But this is what I'm saying. It says something about precedent now. It says something about precedent.
It's a bad precedent.
If my dad's prepared to do that, then why?
Yeah, man, you can't take him serious, can you?
So I was painting these fucking fingernails and shit.
Hey, hey, thank you. How about Sham? I was shy, man. My dad ain't perfect, but I never see my dad in no damn dress, man. That is mad. I don't know what that would have done to my mentality, man. That's a madness. Thank you. Hey, you man growing up, no, your mom being a hoe hurt you, but you know what? At least it ain't the modern day thing where you can see your mom being a hoe, because that'll really hurt you. This is terrible, man. Got a man growing up now and their moms. Hey, that's mad, bro. That's the maximum difficulty, but how do you even how do you break that down? Start smoking everything after that. Go on.
Just finish this off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Habakkuk 2:15 says, "Woe unto him that gave his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their shame." Their nakedness, which is their shame. Yeah, and that's our people, man. The shame is seen. The so-called black culture, and it's no coincidence that the most virulent, most toxic form of that culture exists in America. The most virulent. Now, don't get me wrong. There's virulent and toxic. That virulent and toxic culture exists in the West Indies, in the Americas, but the source, the main driver of that ratchet behavior, because remember, that ratchet behavior is going out on the internet and on the TV, and it's influencing others. Like over here in the UK, a lot of these niggas here in the UK are influenced by that American shit. So here in the UK, it's not to that level. It's not to that level, but there's people here that are starting to copy the mad behavior you see in America, because they're seeing it and they're copying it. And for them, because that's their idea, what they're seeing on TV, that's culture, that's black culture. They start incorporating it to themselves and start behaving that way. The niggas start behaving like 50 Cent, and do you know what I'm saying? They start copying that culture that their granddad never had. Their dad never had that culture. Where did they get that culture from? They got it from the TV. They absorbed it from the popular culture that's really, really being pushed out through America and Esau. Because when you see them ratchet ass black women, it's not black women, it's them ratchet black women who have that culture. Because I didn't grow up with black women like that. And I say it's nice, like an exponential thing.
And it grows. And it's and people think that's how you're meant to be, like the bad. Now the latest psychological operation is the bad bitch demon. And now they got a program on it. about being a bad bitch. Who's the number one bad bitch? And that program is completely toxic. And I'm not saying I know, but I can guess who's behind that kind of programming.
It's the manufacturer, I mean, culture.
And it's manufacturing a culture because it's getting attention. Because something like that shouldn't get the only attention toxic things should get is who are they, where are we, and how can we get rid of them? That is how you're meant to deal with toxic culture. If someone does something toxic, the village or the people find them, and whether it's lashings or death, whatever needs to be done is done to stop it in its tracks. What you don't do is give it attention and post it out there to everyone and look at this, look at that, because it only grows.
And it also protects it. So it gives it space to thrive and to grow inside fucking mess.
Bro, some of the things you, Jake, are doing, yeah, if that happened in India, someone's dying. So someone is, listen, it's a serious, I saw a thing in Somalia, right? Because them Somali girls that grow up here in the UK, they be doing the most. Them Somali things that's in the UK, they suck everything. They be doing the most. That's why mans don't really want to marry them ones from here. Man that come from Somalia don't want to marry a bitch that grow up here. They go back home and they want to get a Somali girl from back home because they don't want to deal with this shit that's going on here, right? There was a girl, she tried doing a TikTok video, show booty popping. The next video she did, she had 5 eyes. And it was during the video, it was her brother. Her brother must have saw the first video. I think this is in Somalia. The brother saw the first video where she was booty shaking, yeah? Or doing whatever kind of move she tried to copy on TikTok. When she was in the middle of doing the next video, the brother clapped the camera and started, and then the next video after that, she had 10 eyes. Man bust her up properly because man said no. There was another video as well, somewhere in Africa. This gal thought she did a video in her lingerie dancing around. And then the next video was her in a room with her cousin, couple of her cousins, and some fucking wires, blood. And they beat every part of her body. She had welts, yeah, from hair all the way down. They mercilessly, it was beyond the law. They mercilessly dealt with her. But you know why they did that? Because she was going to be an example so that all the other girls from the village and that even think to get involved in that toxic behavior, nah, you know what? We don't do that. But you see, among our people here in the West, we don't have that attitude. So people can push boundaries all the time and nothing happens to them. Sukiana and all this stuff, they get more and more attention and people laugh at it and all that stuff. No, man, you're meant to tackle shit. As soon as something toxic rears its ugly head, it's supposed to be dealt with in a harsh way so that it doesn't spread or grow.
You know, because like I said, this all stems from America and they're influencing the world, right? They're the ones passing out that bottle of wine, you know, making the nations drunk, right? And this is from Nahum chapter 3, from verse 4.
Yeah.
It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, which is America, right? They've been exalted in this earth, man. They've been given the top seat, you know, on this planet right now, right?
And everywhere it's becoming Americanized. You go to the islands now, and on the islands, people are Americanized and Westernized, and they're picking up these Western ideals. They're not disciplining the children properly in the schools. The teachers can't even discipline the children now. The teachers try to discipline the children. The parents are coming and trying to fight the teachers. And now you got the youth them are running wild. Some of the stories I hear from the islands, I'm like, whoa. When I was back then, listen, when I was growing up in the islands, man weren't acting out on the streets, bro. You were gonna get dealt with. Like someone was gonna deal with you. Random person. Now these youths, I'm hearing stories, youths are going up into libraries, abusing the staff in the library, trying to fight the staff. You're hearing things about children trying to fight teachers. Bro, when I was growing up on the islands, you would have just heard someone died. That would have been the end of that story. Like, man tried to fight a teacher. Bro, you would have just said, like, what kind of beating did he get? Like, what? Is he still alive? But now the parents will probably come in because they join that westernized mentality. It's so messed up, man.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 21, and 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
Mm.
which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother,
Obey. The youth, see, they're nowadays, and you know what I was trying to tell my woman this today. With children are not supposed to stress you out. The modern day parent is in the West is stressed. Whenever they have to look after their youths, yeah, they are stressed off one youth, let alone two, or if they got 4 or 5. When I was in the swimming pool earlier, and I'm there, I'm trying to get changed. All I'm hearing is bare parents stressing and getting angry, and the kids ain't listening, and they're doing this, that, and the other. And I was thinking back to when I was small, when my Aunt Millie had me and my cousins, and we were small. Bro, there weren't no chaos. Aunt Millie weren't never stressed. When Aunt Millie used to have to look after her, she weren't never stressed because guess what? This is what we do know. Man knew there was boundaries. And if you cross the line, everyone's getting it. If you cross the line, so there wasn't no back talk. If she told us do this, do that, there weren't no back talk. There weren't no say no. So everything runs smooth. When your children are in order, everything runs smooth. There shouldn't be a stress. Why are you stressed? My grandmother used to look after like 14 youths. There were no stress because them youths were in order. They played together. Kids are supposed to play. They play together, and you feed them. What's all the beef? Where's the stress coming from? The stress is coming because they're not listening to you. But why are they not listening to you? Why are they not under your order? You've had them since they were born. So why are they not doing things the way you want them to do it? Why are you having warfare with a child? And that's what the Bible says, what? Children shall be their oppressors. Most parents today are oppressed by their children and they don't know. The very fact you're having to stress with a child, if something's gone wrong there. That child's supposed to listen to you. That child's supposed to shut up when you tell them to shut up. They're supposed to be scared to backchat you or to do certain things a certain way. But these youths nowadays are out of fucking control. And that's why the parents can't wait to get rid of them and put them back into school so the teachers could deal with their bad asses. Because you don't have no control of your children. Enough of them now, they don't even want to beat their children. They say, oh, no, you don't know, it's abusive. And then you wonder why the youth don't fucking listen to you. What do you mean abuse? The Bible tells you spare the rod and you spoil the child. But even our own people now, they say, oh, my parents were abusive to me and all this bullshit. You heard it. You heard this shit?
This is what I was going to say, man, because it's gone even beyond that. It's not even just like a stigma, oh, it's bad to beat your children. He's still put you in fucking prison, bro. Like, you cannot, like, if you do and someone finds out about this,
if they go to school, they go to school and say a certain way.
You got social services coming around.
So Esau helped change that culture. And then now you got a whole generation of youths that don't fear their parents, man. And so it's just stress. It's stress, man.
The only thing that they've been kind of told to fear is Esau. And his law enforcement and things like that.
You squirted out, giving you stress. How could a youth give you stress, brother? And then they think it's normal. So they'll be like, oh, no, that's just children. They're supposed to stress you out. No. Go speak to my grand aunts and that. They weren't getting stressed by no youths. Stressed by what youth? Bro,
even you go back just a little time ago, it weren't like that.
There used to be a time when children was seen and not heard.
Yeah. This shit is very modern.
This is modern shit. These kids are out of control.
It's 30 years, 20 years been like this.
And you know what it is? Because children are just taught now to just be self-serving and indulge in their own desires and their feelings.
Yep.
That's why the schools are out of control. Anyway, go on now. It's fucking, you know what I mean, man? That's just an example of it. So that westernization is going out there into the world, man, and everything's going up fucking bullshit. Yep. The Bible tells you as a child you're supposed to serve your parents as they're your masters, man. These youths nowadays don't have to do fuck all. Back in the day, man, had to get up and go fucking feed goats. Now they don't even want to clean their room, man. Or if you tell them to wash a dish, hold on. They don't want to do nothing, man.
What do you think the commandment about honoring your father and your mother is about? There's no respect here, man.
These kids ain't got to do no fucking work, and they're ungrateful. That's why this whole kingdom needs to be destroyed, because the whole vibration and the order and the way of things has been destroyed, man.
This is the thing. Esau, like I said, this is his methods, right, for keeping us destroyed, right? But he's purposely attacking all the commandments, man, keeping us away from the Heavenly Father, having our people in a destroyed state, causing us to be corrupted. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, of course he does. It's not by accident. Esau is literally ripping up the fabric of existence, man, and transforming it into something far, far, terrible, man. This is why this devil can't be in power, man. It's throughout the whole world,
If a man have a stubborn and a rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father.
And that's what you call a bad breed. A youth, that you constantly beat and they still do the same thing has to die. No, I'm not saying to kill him. I'm just saying, that in theory, he has to die because we call them bad breed. Because let me tell you one thing. A youth ain't supposed to like beatings, innit? When I used to get beatings, I used to make sure that whatever I did to get the beatings, I didn't do it again. Because it wasn't nice, innit? That's normal. If you got a youth, like I'll give you an example, man. I could say it, man. Aldo. I used to grow up with a youth named Aldo, His parents couldn't handle him. They gave him up for fostering. So my grandmother used to run all that. So she gave him to my aunt. So we were all together, Aldo. His only job was to feed the goats. Aldo used to have to go feed the goat, do his thing. Then me and him would play or whatever. He was older than me by a couple years, a few years. I'll be with Aldo and all that kind of stuff. Listen, my aunt would say, Aldo, did you feed the goats? Yes, we feed the goat. Aldo, you sure? Yeah. She'd walk over there and the food's been dashed behind the tree somewhere. You know how many times that happened? He got beat, fam. Listen, I used to go places with Aldo. Aldo would do something, come back, they'll ask him about it, and he would lie so good that I would believe it, and I saw it. Right? And then he kept running away. Coming back. Aunt Millie would beat him, and the man took beatings. He took so much beatings, it became a meme before they were memes. Me and my cousin used to make fun of the way he used to bawl when he would get beat. To this day, I'm telling you, if I called my cousin, he would be like, busting joke. Yeah, because Aldo used to get beat, brother. All right, now. So I really just got rid of him, and he went to some other foster people, whatever. Fast forward now, like years later, right? He's coming to England now. So he's called up Aunt Millie like, oh, can I come? Can I stay with you? Blah, blah, blah. Aunt Millie didn't want to do it, but then she's like, oh, okay, cool. So we went to pick him up at the airport, Like, this guy turned into some Benjaminite fucking soldier, blood. This dude, was like this tall, and just wham, So, all right, cool. He moved to Birmingham. 2 years later, what happened? Most wanted. He's the most wanted in West Midlands for fucking armed robbery, kidnap, injury. A real bad boy. And I'm telling you, you don't want to run into Aldo because he's a menace to society. Now, he was always going to be that because he's a bad breed. If you beat a child and he ain't responding to a beating, then what will he respond to? The Bible tells you what? Folly is bound in the heart of a child, and the rod shall drive it away. If the rod ain't driving the folly away, the man's a demon. He's what we call a bad breed. It's in him, and he will never change. So what is someone like Aldo, before he got to be armed robbery Aldo and most wanted Aldo, when he was back in the Aunt Millie days, what does the scripture say? Let's read it. I'm just saying what that's a real example. The man, I seen the progression, the evolution of this man into a pure menace that you don't want to have nothing, and he know that you got it, man.
And this would avoid all the problems that he caused everybody else. Man.
Yeah, real gun shooter, like.
Innocent people that ain't bothering nobody, and this man caught terrorizing, man.
Bro, he's a menace to society. I don't even know where he is right now, whether he's alive or dead. But all I know, he was most wanted, man. Trust me. Real bad boy in West Midlands most wanted, Yeah, well, that's why the scripture said You know what it says. Go on, let's read that.
Then shall his
Real life.
father and his mother lay hold on him, and he bring him out unto the elders of
Right now, for parents to do this, they've had enough. He ain't supposed to be getting stressed by no you. Yeah, why is a you adding stress to your life? That's not what you had them for. I ain't having no you. You just stressing. Like, nah, I ain't got. Listen, man. When you know when you've got to that point where it's like, listen, at this point, your defiance is even a bad influence on the other children. Because if you got a child like a son like that, yeah, and you got other sons, and he's doing that, especially if he's an older son, then the younger ones are looking at that like, yo, like I need to fuck, I need to do what he's on. So you gotta take this guy out. So you grab him up. You say, listen, man, we're gonna take this guy before the judges, man, because he got to go. And imagine how much stress you got to be under to make this decision. That this guy got to go. He needs to respawn.
It's at the point where you realize that
This guy's gonna cause me a problem because guess what? If he ain't listening to me and he's doing folly after folly, how long before he goes and kill Miss Patty's son? How long before he goes over there and does some stink with some girl over there, or he does some folly that's gonna come back to me, and it's gonna sully the name of my household, just do irreparable damage for generations. It's better that I cut it off so that everybody knows we don't tolerate that in this family, so I can marry my sons off to somebody, or my daughters. Like that.
These things are lacking onto cancers and tumors and stuff, man.
You need to be cut out, man.
Otherwise, it's gonna infect everything in that surrounds you. Right?
Giving your family a bad name. Go on.
and he bring him out unto the herders of his seat, and unto the gate of his press, and they shall say unto the elders of his seat, this our son is stubborn and rebellious.
Stubborn and rebellious. Don't want to hear no talk. They're telling him things. You think he knows it all. And there's enough youths like that. There's innumerable, and they're the main ones that's out there on the street corners doing madness from they're like 14, 15. Nobody can't tell them nothing. Yeah, because they're following behind the bad boys on the street. They're olders. You can't tell them nothing. They think they're bad. Enough of these youths now, I know, are in foster care because they're beating up their moms. They don't want to listen to their mom. They're abusing their mom, or they'll actually tell the social services on their moms. So that I'm telling you, this is true. I remember there's one youth. He had a mom and he had a dad in the yard, and because he was getting beat, he snitched on them because he wanted to hang around on the streets. So because when you go into foster care, you get money and all that stuff. These are the youths that you see hanging around, walking around with their mask on now because Esau gave them license that they can all walk around with masks now. You notice that? So all these little dirty youths are walking around with the trousers, the same shit, the same two tracksuit bottoms, one down with a full fucking face mask on, and you just want to shoot them in the face because you're just walking around and it's just menacing.
You're trying to be.
And the only reason they can do that is because Esau and his stupid C-19 bullshit made everybody wear masks. Because now they got license. You just walk around the ends, and these men are just walking around with masks on all day. Take the bomber clock mask off your face, man.
Like they want to do something.
Yeah, because they work in darkness. That's why they're little bastards, man. Nothing they do can be in the light, man. That's why they got masks on.
As the Zoni say,
Well, they say no face, no case, innit? That's why they're running around like that.
then shall and they shall say unto the herder of the seat, this is our son. He is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton.
Obey.
Means like, you think your parents want to do that? If your parents want to fucking take you up there, man, to get fucked up like permanently.
Well, you got to. And then notice it says obey. Your children are supposed to obey you, man. And with 1,000,001 questions, and no, they know it ain't supposed to come out their fucking mouth. Listen, go do this, go do that. Go feed the goats, Aldo.
They're asking you bad questions.
Bad question. What you asking me bad questions for? Go feed the goats. Go do this. Go do this. Go do that. You're doing this. You're doing that.
Why?
If you get a choice, it's because I give you a choice. There doesn't have to be a choice. That's how it's supposed to be in a relationship between a parent and a child. Now these youths have got choices. They think they got rights. These youths think they got rights. Listen, let me tell you something for free. And remember, the Hebrew Israelites taught you this from now on, yeah? In the kingdom of heaven, there's not going to be no human rights, There's not going to be no women's rights, and there's not going to be no children's rights. Let me say that again. There's not going to be no human rights. There's not going to be no women's rights, and there's not going to be no children's rights. There's only going to be inheritance rights and Israelite rights, yeah, birth rights and the law. It's going to be all that bullshit that these men are on. Oh, child labor. No, the children are going to labor. Like, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Because these youths nowadays are lazy as fuck. Big grown man, 16, 17, just playing PlayStation, going out on the block, taking balloons, coming back in, playing PlayStation, going back out on the block, doing some more balloons, chasing down the op, or getting chased by the ops, finding some nasty, dirty bottom, stinking bottom gal to get Uggs, what they call Uggs from, or to bang some nasty girl that don't even know how to clean her ass, and then come back into the yard again to play some more PlayStation. And man's all 16, 17, 18 years old.
So you got grown ass men doing shit like that, man. These are not being those grown ass men doing it. You always see in the fucking in the bookies playing dominoes.
Yeah, oh yeah, all this. I get, you know what, man? I get vexed when I see them niggas out in Barking, and you always see the same man hanging around, and they always got their little drink in their hand, and it's like, it's not, you know, when you're on a rest day, you might see a man on his rest day. So yeah, okay, man's on his, every day's a rest day for these men. These men are just hanging around like fuck, and they don't do no fucking work.
What's it called? They're sponges, man. They take from others, the scrounges, man.
Just, and all they do, hey miss, all this shit, just trying to get gal, bro. Why even trying to get gal? And half of them man have got baby mothers. I know these niggas. These men have got, because they sleep around with all these little dirty girls and get them pregnant, and then the child either ends up in foster care or whatever, and they're still out on the corner doing the same shit they've always do, just still looking for gal. Or smoking a spliff, drinking, or choose me, grown man, choose me, or lend me a $5, and them things there, bruh. Go join an agency, go fucking do some bricklaying, go do some fucking work. You fucking waste mans, man. You ain't supposed to see no man on like always in the, unless you're in the gym. Right. Or so, loitering, blood, hanging around. What are you doing in the bookies? Is that a career? I get vexed, man. Fucking go do some work, man. Them niggas need to get wiped out, man. They just, you know, just trying to holler at man's girl and shit.
Well, these are boys that never became men, and this is the thing.
And they think they're bad in their one tracksuit.
Yeah. And these children, you know, these 16, 17-year-olds, you know, because they're supposed to be young men, but they're not. You know, they don't ever grow up, man. They stay in this child mentality, and the child is impulsive and just does what he wants to satisfy, you know, their flesh, right?
As long as they got a pair of Nikes.
Responsibilities, no responsibility, no accountability. You don't want those sort of things. They're children still, man.
Trying to shot an ounce.
Up, man. Shit.
They're trying to shot an ounce, man. That's it. And then smoking the profit. Fucking dick. Anyway, God, it's the truth, man. You know, listen to some drill. Look, you know them niggas is there now. We gonna see them when we go back. The same niggas, man. It's like that every year, every hood. The same niggas just hanging around in the corner. Them niggas should have been killed, and that was it. Like, 'cause they're a waste of space. There's nothing they have to offer to humanity.
He's a glutton and a drunkard.
A glutton, so they just want to eat. They just want to fill themselves with their lusts. They want to eat and drink. Fanta and chicken and chips. Get high off the balloons. What's there to do in London? Balloons, fam. The balloons and ting. Yeah, go on.
And all the men of the seat.
Notice it says all the men, because that's where the seat of judgment lies. All the men of the city. Go on.
Shall stone him with stones.
Cause you don't want to get stoned by no girl, blood. That's it. No. Big raw Benjamite man, stone him with stone. That's serious business. And then, listen, the Bible has serious consequences and repercussions. Serious consequences and repercussions. That's serious, man. A man getting stoned to death is a brutal ending. But there's a reason for that. Because it has to be brutal. So, as a warning, this is what happens. Okay. And that's a good thing when that did happen, because you've removed a toxic element from the people. Because he was only going to be a toxic element. He was only going to either breed Meaning he's gonna have a son, and his son was gonna be probably just like him.
Multiply.
He's gonna multiply like a virus, cause problems, maybe murder someone, more sinning. Just get rid of that guy. Reset.
The fear keeps the city in check, right? All this notion of we must love. No, love pushes boundaries,
Hey,
man.
that is love.
Love takes, it is love, yeah. But this whole thing that I should just love him for whatever they're doing or whatever, man, just increases badness, man.
Yeah, but what about everyone
They
else?
push the boundary and take the piss.
What about everyone else though?
This is what I'm saying.
You love him, but then what about the people
Your
that he's
neighbor.
gonna come and
What about your
your neighbor and that he's gonna injure? Gonna steal your neighbor's cow and all that. Get rid of that nigga, man. But we can't do that now. That's a disclaimer. Don't be killing no grimy niggas now, innit? But the point, what I'm trying to say is, like, in a righteous world, this stuff that you see so rife among our people would be kept to a minimum. That would keep it to a minimum. All the vagrants, all the wastemans that are in abundance. Just about, listen, all we got in this kingdom right now, and there's abundance of wasteman and hoes. It's too many, because they're allowed to procreate and you know.
That's what's supposed to happen if this law is kept. This is the problem that I feel we're having, because we weren't keeping the laws.
So
That's
the
why
thing
we end
just
up
goes-
fucked up and shit, because all this shit was going on, right? But this is what the law is here for order, right? For blessings, man, to keep your nation blessed, right? To have it prosper.
It's that pruning, isn't it? You know, you get that branch that's just growing the wrong way. Clip that up, man.
Because how are we meant to prosper with these elements in society, man?
You can't,
We can't.
because when you're coming home from work one day, them and the man that's gonna be robbing you, robbing your yard. Yeah, them man that's just riding around on peds, up to no good,
Getting caught in costs,
stealing granny's phones. Yeah, man. But I remember one time these youths, blood, that was on the Thames U estate. They ran up in a man's house, yeah. Man left his keys. He made the mistake of leaving all of his keys. You know, the man, you put the keys in a little key holder, right? And his wife was upstairs or something. These youths, you know how them man are on the View. And these are youths, like all teenage youths. They're in school. They fucking went up into Dagenham, went into this Brere's house, stole his fucking watch, jewelry, everything, took the car, took the quad bike, yeah. And then these motherfuckers went on social media and was showing it off. So then he found out, and then he come through with bare man. Obviously he must have been, you know, he put all the man them through and was outside the main youth's house, because they're always getting chased by police there, right? And the mom was like, oh, I don't know nothing about it, because obviously she ain't got no control of these fucking youths, right? And man's like, listen, I better get my shit back, otherwise it's gonna get peak, right? Now, but guess what? Even though all that happened, his wife ain't never gonna feel safe in that whole house again. That's what you can't take back. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's certain things that when you do it, yeah, there's damages that goes beyond the physical damage. What about the mental damage? Because now when he goes home, he has to find some kind of way to make that home feel secure again. Because she gonna be like, but how did they get in? Fucking nigga, them dudes should have been studying or doing some work. What they doing running around trying to steal people's shit?
Yep.
And they afraid. Them youths are known. They use or see them all up and down on the peds. They're known for running around grabbing people's old granny's phones. I know them niggas should just get.
Yeah, that was that fucking fan on social media. That was doing that running in people's yards.
Oh, Miz, yeah, he just,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he should have been publicly beaten. That's simple. Listen, he hold 20 of them. The whole career would have been, and no one would be doing that. It's like, rah, my man just back got ripped up, you know, and you hear him go, hey,
means for days now.
bro. In the islands, there's a thing called the bull bud that man used to have, the bull penis that they twist and stretch and dry. That's what he needed. Can you see when you get hit with that? Yeah, it recombines all your brain, fam. Bro, listen, that thing hit harder than a gun. You get hit with the bull bud, man. It's a serious correction, you know. That shit just it rewires everything, man. It'll make a man go on the straight and narrow. That's what he needed. What I cross the back? You gotta get man on the back. Well, listen, what they said one time, a man got hit with the bull bud and he ran from the hill all the way to the fucking ocean, blood. Yeah, because the thing was stinging him, blood. It's too hot.
call it. Oh,
Hey, go ahead. Yo, I'm telling you, blood. Look up the bull bud, blood. It's a serious thing, you know. That's what he needed publicly. Go on, man.
Deuteronomy 21 and 21, I say, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Yes, I ain't got time putting him in juvenile, putting him in Feltham.
literally waste of space.
Listen, 99% of these youths they put in Feltham come out and they're still on the block. They're worse than what they was before they went into Feltham.
Can't integrate back into society anyway.
They can't integrate back in, and then they go from Feltham to Belmarsh. We grew up with them, bro. There's even niggas that you know how many niggas like you know who I'm talking about. I'll tell you after. Every time I see this nigga, I'm like, yo, okay, oh, you out? Oh man, yeah, what's up? What's going on? Like, and he's like, yeah, you know, when I was inside, you know, I got my lawyer thing, and I'm gonna be. No, I think he said he's got his accountant thing, and I was like, I was happy for him. I'm like, oh, you're gonna be an accountant? He's like, yeah. And then I remember one time when I went in the Barking Dog, I see him again, and he was moving bare sketchy. I'm thinking, what's wrong with this nigga? And then I ain't see him again for like 2-3 months. I ran into another guy we know. And he's like, yeah, he's back inside. They were looking for him. And I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, the niggas, all them niggas we went to, all them Gascoigne dons, they just went in, out, in, out, in, out, in.
Because they're broken too, man.
They're done, man. Well, they should have just out. That's it. They should have been out. And then that's it.
You know,
Yeah.
Back in peace, get reset.
That's it.
Try, do better next time, innit?
You got time with all that, man. Rehabilitation. The niggas ain't getting no rehabilitated. The niggas is gone. It's very rare. They know that statistically. How many of them return?
Now, how do you expect to go away for such an X amount of time and come out better than you was, man?
This is grimy,
That's
man.
madness, bro.
Niggas is grimy, man.
Sitting in the same fucking cell with fucking goons and gremlins all day long for fucking years on end.
It's extremely grimy. That things need to be looked at, and that's why Esau's starting to put with the IPP, and he just puts them in there forever. But then, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point?
Yeah.
Some of these dudes come out, they act crazy. When one of them one came out, he got a job where I was working, tried to stab one other brother for no reason, blood. Just mad. What the fuck? Oh, and then they're in the music saying,
he's in prison mode, blood. You know
yeah. And then these dickheads are in the music about free this and free that. Nah, don't free them niggas, man. You know, I ain't trying to walk on the street with them niggas, man. Hey, go on, man. They're like, free this. Nah, they niggas they're where they should be, man. Go on. Oh, is that it on that? Okay, go on. Let's go back, man.
Yeah.
Free. Yo, free young Millie. Free. Nah. Don't free none of them. Whoever they just said, yeah, don't free them because I want to be able to go to the park with my kids. I don't want the ops running up and down with Rambo knives, and I can't deal with that shit. Yeah, I'm a civilian. Let them niggas stay where they are. They can fuck each other up on the landing, innit? Good.
It's back in there, chapter 3, verse 4. Because like we were saying before, all this influence, stems from America. It's got these men think it's cool to be like that.
Yeah.
Gangsters and fucking drug.
Yeah, they're gone, man.
Shit,
they're gone.
That's what America promotes.
And then usually they got kids. And then the kids just want to be gangsters because their daddy's in jail. It's just a sick situation, man.
Don't want to fucking work. But yeah, back in there 3 and 4, it's because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft. So this is all witchcraft that Esau, all this wine is witchcraft. That he's corrupting the people with, man. Right?
Yeah, it's very sinister. Even when you listen to a lot of this stuff, man, these men are acting like it's so lucrative to be a gangster, but then they all turn into rappers. So which one's lucrative? I don't understand. Because if it's so lucrative to be a fucking gangster, then why are you niggas rapping? Surely rapping is like if you understand what I'm saying? If it's so lucrative, because you're promoting, you've become a rapper, right? I know that you get a lot of these rappers, they're talking like they're still on crud, still putting in work on the streets, and they're bigging it up, yeah. And their whole image is bigging up being a bad man on the roads, right? That's their thing that they do. But if that was working for you, then why are you rapping? That's
the blueprint.
What would even be the point? If I was really putting in work on the road and then it's so successful, I wouldn't even think about being a rapper. Like, what's the point?
because that's then going legit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's then going
Yeah,
legit.
that's just bringing attention to myself from people that I don't need the attention from. If I'm mashing work on the roads, the man that need to know me know me. The man that need to fare me fare me. Why do I need some white boy from fucking Cheshire to know about me? And then now I got his uncle who's in the CID onto my case. I just need the other man on the block to know don't fuck with me, and that's that. If it's so lucrative, why are you rapping it? Because you know it ain't even that lucrative. That's why you want to be a rapper and make the rap money. But the young man listening to you, he thinks the lucrative thing is being on the roads. But that's not how this dude's really made his money. He made his money selling raps.
That's the actual career progression, bro. You know what I'm saying? The first level is you drug dealer. You
Jokes, man. It's jokes, man.
You work as a younger. You know what I'm saying? Then you become an older, right? And then you get your rap deal.
That's bullshit, man.
You know?
You and you just think none of it makes sense, man. It's like, bro, like if it was that, you don't see cartel bosses becoming rappers for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because them man are actually having some success. You didn't see El Chapo with a rap album talking about this, that, and the other. Like, he didn't, because he's like, "Why am I rapping for? I'm not a rapper. I'm a trapper." But niggas is a rapper, but they're saying they're a trapper. I don't get it, man. Anyway, it is what it is. It's just bullshit.
Yep. This is the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft.
Families, like the entire family, through the American system has been destroyed. It's been gutted. And it's not even just the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's even seeped into the so-called white man. The so-called white man's family structure is all fucked up. They're getting higher divorce rates, damaged children. And it's all feeding into itself, because the more you got these damaged homes not only have got damaged parents, but now they can't defend themselves from all the wickedness on the outside. So then it doubles. Then them children are even more damaged. Then they go out and they have a bunch of damaged relationships because they're damaged. And then it's just like feeding into itself, a beast. And then Esau's just there with the pedophilia and everything and the witchcraft, and he could just attack at will. He's just shooting people like sitting ducks, because there's no spiritual protection for nobody, because there's no strong spiritual father or mother in that. The household is weak. The household is weak, man. The family, the unit, the family unit in America is finished. It's totally destroyed, man. And Esau's done that, and he's trying to export that throughout the world. It's madness.
Verse 5 says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame."
Because now everyone's seeing that. Hold on, if results is everything. That's why they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. If a man you judge a man on his results, innit? You can't, it's like if you got a manager. Let's bring it to football, because football season, not soccer. Yeah, we don't do it's not soccer. Yeah, it's football. Yeah, because it's played with the foot, right? Not with it's soccer business, man. It's fucking Americans, man. But yeah, this football season, right? So if you got a manager, right, and he's saying, "I've got this great system, I've got this great coaching system," but all his teams just play shit, losing. Like even when you give him the quality players, it ain't working. It's just shit. At some point, you have to say, "Bro, your coaching system is shit." Now, but when you got a man like Pep, and then you see, hold on, Pep's Barcelona, well, successful, won the treble. Bayern Munich, successful, won the treble. Man City, successful, won the treble. Then you're looking at all the managers that he's trained, and they're looking good and successful, and their teams are playing. Then you're like, well, you know what, man? That style of football is getting the results. That coaching system is getting the results. Now, if you got America and they're claiming to be the pinnacle of civilization and what you're meant to look towards, the real proof of that results is in the children. The children and the next generation should be an improvement. It should be good. But if you actually look at American society, each generation is getting more dysfunctional, and all of the negative attributes are on the increase. More child murder, child suicide, child drugs, drug addicts, criminals, more broken relationships, like obesity,
education,
educate.
it's all down.
Every metric is on its way on. It's on its. It's on the.
Obesity's up, but, you know,
Yeah. Health, okay, health is that. Health is that. Yeah. So every metric that you will judge a fully functioning society on, in terms of the social aspect, is on its way down. Do the children have more respect for their elders now than before, or less? Are the children nicer to each other in terms of bullying is a big thing? These kids are fucking horrible now.
It's even easily noticeable. They're not small margins anymore, man. It's easily noticeable that everything's gotten worse.
Bro, when we was growing up, right, you might banter with your brethren, innit? But more time, you weren't like, when you listen to have you ever been on the bus and listen to these youths talking to each other now? Everything they say about each other is negative. Every word that comes out of their mouth is "you're ugly" or "you're this." It's a constantly putting each other down. And I'm like, when I was growing up, yeah, we used to have times and we do a bit of banter, but we weren't just going, yeah, look at you, yeah, you fucking ugly, yeah, you can't get girls, yeah, you can't do this.
Like,
Because
I know for a fact there's in times of encouragement.
yeah, like,
Between, you know, friends and stuff. I don't hear that. I mean, I'm
No.
not around them like that, but I just can't.
so they don't
I
love
just
each other.
can't- yeah.
They don't even know how to love. By the time they get to teenage, yeah, they're horrible. And it's true. If you put your kids in a school system, which I recently had to do, the children are fucking horrible. The children are horrible. They're not good kids. They're fucking bullies, man. They're bullies. It's just mad. Bullying is a massive problem in this society. Constant bullying and fighting. Where is the
All the online shit.
the online stuff?
They always say it's a big problem, right, between the youth now, right? What do you think that is?
Because they have the way? No, they don't have the way. Whatever way they're going, they could go by themselves.
Ain't gonna hold that.
The proof is there. Everything's gone to hell.
But yeah, the shame is being shown out there into the whole world, man. No one rates this, man.
Yeah, like why would you? You realize like you raise your daughter. Like why would you want your daughter to be a hoe? All these girls are hoes now. You go, let's you go down Romford right now, yeah. You see all these girls walking around, they're dressed like sluts and they are sluts. By the time they're 17, they all got mad bodies on them already. Like, what's going on? And that's meant to be an improvement. And then so other people from other cultures around the world are shocked because they get to see it. Like they're watching interviews with some girl and they'll ask the girl, like, what's one thing you've done that you don't want your dad to know? She'd be like, yeah, I sucked his best friend off, and you know, it's just like. And then so there's people on the other side of the world like, oh my god, like what the fuck? But she just said that like, bro, it's scandalous. Yeah, I fucked my boyfriend and two of his mates. You know what I mean? Like, whoa.
Heavy sexual.
Hey yo. Bro, imagine you're the dad hearing that. Hey yo.
You know what's wrong about it? Because these feminists complain about, you know, being sexual objects, right, to men or whatever, right? But they're fucking hypersexualized now.
Bro,
They're
hey yo.
themselves, and they wonder why they're not keeping any decent man.
Bro, I've heard some serious stuff, and this is in street interviews, and they're willing to say that in public. So then there's people from Japan and all that watching that thinking, Bumba clock. Like, I thought America was this great place, but we would never want our daughters to be like this, or we would never want our sons to be like this. This isn't a civilized place.
And that's what they come over to do, because you got those that are enamored by it, right? The youths in their countries where, oh, look at what they can do. And then they go over to America, they go over to Britain
And lose themselves.
Yeah. And their parents are like, I'm just thankful they ain't here. But they're ashamed. No doubt, man.
Yeah.
Because in Japan, it ain't like that.
Hey, nah, man.
I mean, you could pick it up the elements, obviously, that that.
Yeah, but this is bad. Like, this is bad.
This is overrun.
Bro, you seen that Sinners podcast, yeah? Some of the shit that them girls are saying on the podcast is just, it's just
like, even if it's not true,
it's wild to just be saying that stuff,
that's
man.
What I'm saying.
And it's just like, so the shame is being seen. People are looking like that from other places in the world and thinking like, this is this what it's all about? Is this what we're meant to be copying, so that our daughters can be like that and our relationships can be like that? Everyone's just seeing man and woman in America fight. And believe you me, it's just America and it's just on social media in America. Them man are not fighting like that in Japan. Man and woman is not fighting like that. It's just this weird thing, and then people are seeing it and thinking like,
Western nation.
what's this? What is this the future? Is
But
this?
again, that's all part of the prophecies, man, and the decline of Esau's kingdom.
Yeah.
That's what we're witnessing. That's why we know we're here. We're not fucking end now. We know it. We see it. How much worse does this really get? It
Oh,
can't get much worse, but, but it's gonna, right?
hey, yo.
This place is gonna fall apart, man. But we
Yeah.
know it's getting close to that point now, because there's not so much this world is gonna have to take, man. These kingdoms are gonna be able to take where it fucking just dismantles itself, man.
It's shameful, man.
You know?
It's absolutely shameful what they even show in the light, let alone the stuff they're bringing out in the light. You don't even want to know what man are doing in the dark, man.
I think that they are ashamed of.
Yeah, if that's what you're talking about in the light, then what are you ashamed of? It's crazy, man. Disgusting.
It's like,
The book of Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit.
Yeah, man. America's finished, man. There's nothing they do well. There's nothing. They've not improved life for anyone, man. It's not the pinnacle of civilization. The people are not enlightened. This was supposed to be the era of enlightenment, right? The 1700s onwards, they call it the Renaissance era and the era of enlightenment. These people are not enlightened. The average person in America does not understand or know anything but entertainment. They're ignorant beyond belief. They have no knowledge, wisdom, or understanding when it comes to righteousness, health, diet, anything.
Why has Esau really improved in that?
Nothing. They just got some technology that's fancy. I told you, it's made in China, and it has it looks like it's working, but when you get to the core of it, it's done nothing. It's done nothing, man. The fact that you got people being NPCs and making money off it just shows you idiocracy. That's that movie Idiocracy. There's idiots. The men are so fucked up that man are not even paying for pussy no more. They're paying to look at the pussy, man. What's going on? Man are paying a girl. They're having a relationship with a woman for $9.99, and she's posting up bikini pics. A man's paying a $9.99 a month for that, blood. Man are not even getting the punani, fam. Man are not even getting the punani. Then man start sending them money. Man start sending them $100, $1,000. Well, there's one video. There's one girl on Twitch, yeah. All she did was sit there, play video games with her feet up on the table and the camera with her feet in the shot, yeah, and abuse people and say, oh, you better send me some fucking money. And all you hear is da-da-ding, da-da-ding. And man's are actually sending her money. These fucking incels are sending her fucking money, man. And she just playing video games with her feet up, man. And there's grown man. There's man sending hard-earned money for this. And not getting no panani, but I can't. This place is through. Man, I want to buy sweat. Then man want to buy spit in jar. Perverse. I don't even want to buy the pussy. They buy in the spit in a jar. Yeah, I'm done, man. Them man are buying the spit. One girl, she was spitting in the jar, man, buying it, fam. What's going on? Perverse. Hey, yo, real man. Listen, no real man should ever be doing that, man. Bomber clock, like.
It goes on to say back in Nahum 3 and 6, that I will cast abominable filth upon thee. This is filth.
It's filth. It's destroyed, man.
And make thee vile.
Yeah, it's vile. It's disgusting. STD. Just look at this STD statistics. The STD statistics. It's foul. It's disgusting, man. Bare batty, man. Bare man are batty, man, as well. On the cover. Homos, man. And that's disgusting. 100% abominable. It's disgusting, man. Sorry, man. Bun this place.
I will set thee as a gazing stock. Everyone's looking at this place like, what the fuck, man?
And it is
Russia's
like that.
What the fuck? China's like, what the fuck?
It is like that, man. It's like weirdos. America's filled with weirdism. That's where you get the weirdest weirdos, man, and they get a platform. Look at that dude. Who was that Don? The transgender Don that did the Budweiser advert. You know the dude, you know, and he dresses like a woman, and then he did the Budweiser advert, and then man stopped buying the Budweiser. I forgot his Dylan. Yeah, but did you see the guy? Now, what the fuck is that, blood? Listen, I'm being real with you, yeah? A guy like that 60, 70 years ago couldn't walk the street without getting fucked up. Right? You man walk past the pub, one drunk guy gonna just murk him. Like, man's there drinking his pint, and to see that guy walking down the street with a bikini on, man would just dash the fucking pint glass at his head, blood, and just bust him up right there and then. They'd be getting hate crimes like straight, like, and rightfully so. What's going on? Like, why are you even walking around like this, acting like that?
They say pride is hateful, man.
Now a man like that is getting a platform. They can talk. You got the other Jeffrey guy. He's an American. And he's on there talking like a damn gal. And then what he was doing was contacting children and telling them, you can sign up to the Patreon to contact me personally, and don't tell your parents. Some like some pedophile transgender done, and it's all in America. Yeah, that's the other. Oh, that might be them. Yeah, I don't know. It's disgusting, man. Grotesque. They started they made the BBL trend mainstream. I know in Brazil they were obsessed with the BBL before, but it really got made mainstream by America. And BBLs are grotesque. Anyway, go on.
Verse 7, it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say Nineveh, which is representative of America, right? Is laid waste.
And that's what's going to happen. America, right, is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear destruction, man. And rightfully so. Rightfully so, because from one end to another, from Hollywood to New York, it's just filth. It's disgusting from top to bottom. The whole thing is disgusting. It's unclean. Yeah, it's a blot on the earth. It's a virus on the earth. It's a mold. You know what I mean? It's a leprosy on the earth, and it just needs to be cleansed off. And rightfully so.
It says, who will bemoan her? Who's gonna lament for her? Who's gonna miss her, man? You know? Because this place is obviously fucked up.
It's a lie.
You know?
America's a lie, man.
They're gonna sober up quick when those missiles drop, man.
look at the fucking, you know, we didn't even mention it, yeah? But look at the they've had a problem with, now understand this, right? We know that your own people, the CIA, right, and the elites are the ones pumping the illicit drugs into America. That's a fact. Everyone should know that by now. So they're actually getting their own people hooked on these fucking drugs that turn them into nothing more than a ghoul that lives only for the pleasure of the next hit. And through that comes crime and whatever, because these people can barely hold down a job because they become so zombified, right? And they push that, and then at the same time create this whole war on drugs at the same time, so they could put people in jail for it, right? And you see the videos in America. There's whole streets full of zombies, man. Now,
that's mad.
That can only be produced. That's a sign of a serious problem with a society when you got that many people, yeah, hooked on these type of drugs. Because see, these type of drugs, only a damaged person would take them. You have to be a damaged individual to even be going down that path. There was something wrong with you, and that's why you sought this as a solution. That shows you there's a serious problem going on.
Well, it's good to say, man, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked people will mourn.
They're just chasing the next high.
That's why they're, trying to get that fucking hit, man.
What the fuck is going on, man?
Escapism.
You telling me that's not the sign of deep-rooted problems in a society, and they just ignore it? and just carry on. Like, what's going on? You got zombies on your street. You got man leaning up, acting. Now in England, it's growing problem here too.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I've been noticing it a lot. Like, there's a lot more homeless and a lot more crackheads. But there's nothing like. I don't think there's anywhere you can. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? There's a lot of crackheads in the UK, but some of the images you see coming out of America, it's like a whole street where they just congregating and they just look like something out of Last of Us.
Well, as I say, Resident Evil, Raccoon City, bro.
Yeah, it look like Raccoon City, bro. Whoa,
Zombies,
man, you gotta get away from that place. And you want to raise your children there?
Esau's destroying people right here, man. You know, and it's evident for all to see, but people don't want to admit it, man. People just want to think, oh, that's just them. That's just something that's happening because they're, whatever. It's Esau.
Yeah, it's
He's
toxic.
white man's behind all this.
The devil. It's dark demonic energy, man. Because there's demons behind them drugs, man. And they know that. They show you that in the movie Gabriel. There was a demon running all the drugs. A black one with dreads. All right, where are we at? Yeah, finish this and then oh, you got signed? Okay.
Says, who will bemoan her? When shall I seek comforters for thee?
Yeah. Go on, and then we so the Israel shall be reckoned among the nations. Let's finish that off. We started on that.
This is Isaiah 24:10. The seat of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets.
And that's what's gonna happen. You see, it's gonna get so bad in America that people are gonna be crying for the good times. But the scripture isn't that. Where you at, Isaiah? Because even in that scripture, it tells you about how wine will be bitter. Because you see, there's a certain type of depression that wine can't help. You know, when certain times alcohol can make you, like, you could ease your pain, yeah. But there's a certain thing that can happen to you that you could drink, and it's not gonna help. That's how bad it's gonna get in America. All the good times and the partying and all that, right? It's coming to an end. And it's going to go down in a brutal and a very dark fashion. Go read that again.
The seat of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened.
All joy is darkened. All the good times are going to be done real soon, man. The Lord's going to wrap that place up, man, and it's going to go out the way it should go out. Sad. It's gonna be going out sad, man. Sad one, mad one, innit?
The mirth of the land is gone.
The mirth, all that entertainment that they are sedated with, the escapism that they're sedated with, is just pure entertainment, pure folly that people distract themselves from the reality with. That's why the entertainers are held in such high regard. Because that's the number one drug.
Paid so much.
Yeah, it's the number one drug in America is entertainment. Their entertainment's gonna come to a stop. Some people ask, how do you know in the time of Jacob's trouble? There's no concerts. When there's no concerts, no clubs, no nothing. The whole entertainment industry, that's gone. Because when all hell breaks loose, what you think Beyonce is gonna be like, getting loose and all that shit. Announcing tours and all that. You had a little tiny bit of taste with the C19, but that wasn't the real thing. You're gonna see time of Jacob's trouble. They're not gonna be on YouTube trying to do podcasts and trying to keep it going. It's gonna be done. All that mirthing and it's gonna be done. Man ain't gonna be streaming on Spotify. They got more concerned about what the reality of what's happening in and around them, safety and trying to get food.
Because inescapable. You know?
Man ain't gonna hear about the latest celebrity drama.
We'll be living that drama with them.
In the seat is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of the olive tree, and as the greening grapes when the vintage is done.
The Lord's gonna wipe that place out completely, man. It's gonna wipe it out completely. And the only ones that are gonna survive and be delivered is the elect of Israel to be with the Lord and to set up a new kingdom. And that new kingdom is gonna be completely different to this kingdom, right? It's gonna be in complete order. It's not gonna be so all the countries that exist now, they're not gonna exist in the kingdom because it's all bullshit made in China countries. They ain't supposed to be no Nigeria. All these bullshit borders are artificial borders. We're gonna create the proper borders that the Lord intended from the very beginning. Moab, Ammon. Yeah, that's the borders. Not no the random countries that exist. Random border lines, and within the border, there's people that don't even belong together.
Yeah.
That's why you think in Africa is constant warfare and beef. Because in Africa, Esau went over there and he was like, boy, he was only thinking about the resources. He's like, okay, we'll carve this out, we'll call that Nigeria. We carved that out here, that's Niger. Carve that out. Meanwhile, you got a tribe of people, they're now a minority in 4 different countries. Like, but really, they're supposed to be one. So now they're getting persecuted in this country by the other tribes who are the majority in that country, and then that's war. When really they should have had their own country. And that's how it was before. They were Esau messed everything up. You look at the Kurds, the same thing in the Middle East. The Kurds they should have their own, you know what I mean? But they split up. Nah, man, we're gonna order everything the right way, man, and put everybody back in their proper borders. Esau did that because he divided the people according to his own desires and his own lusts. There is no such thing as Zimbabwe. There is no such thing as South Africa. He created those borders. He just came in and arbitrarily just said, yeah, that, it's mad. Same thing with South America right now. Well, there is no Brazil. There is no Argentina. There was people there before that, man. They had their own borders, blood. Esau just came and made up some borders. There were no Mexico. Yeah, go on.
Psalms 49 verse 11. So their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
So Esau just came true and just did what he wanted with the world, and he made a mess. So that mess is going to have to be cleaned up. And it's going to begin with America being destroyed, the elect being delivered, and then the elect are going to come back down out of heaven, holy Jerusalem, and then we're going to order the planet right from the beginning, from scratch, all over again. Order the people together. We're going to, you're a Moabite. They're going to be no confusion in that day. Everyone's going to know exactly what nationality they are and what lineage they are, and they're going to be ordered according to that. Edomites over Deso, Moabites over Deso, Ammonites over Deso. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? There ain't no such thing as Hamites, and really, we say Hamites, but Put is different to Mizraim. Those are 2 different nations. They're not the same nation. Just like there's different nations within Shem. So they need to be separated and segregated unto themselves. And we're going to be separated and segregated, man. In fact, have we got that? Did you get that one? We shall not be reckoned among the nations. We're a special people, man. So going back to the beginning of the lesson, man, we're not supposed to want to be around these other nations. Like you're in a restaurant eating and you're surrounded by Edomites eating too. Fuck that, man.
It's vexing. I remember, it might be last year, the year before that, somewhere either side of COVID or whatever, right? And it's summertime, sun was out. I thought, yeah, I'm go outside.
My channel taken down, man.
Explain what I did.
You didn't even start with them conspiracy tag words. No, I'm joking.
This is fact, I did this, right? Right. So I went down to a powerful. Let me sit in the beer garden where I have a drink, right?
Oh boy.
I don't know why I was sitting there. I was a woman. I was sitting there. She was at the bar. She's bringing back the drink. I was sitting there, and I'm all these Edomites in the garden. I was thinking, and listening to them, just talking. And it's irksome, just listening to them, just being around them, smoking and talking shit. I was like, I can't even enjoy this, man. I can't even enjoy this. I'm with the fucking the basis of men, right? And I can't even enjoy this, man. I had one drink and I left.
Yeah, man, you gotta be around Benjamin, innit? If I, and our people are bugged out, but you still rather be
Yeah.
around, the man them, like, rather than being around these fucking crusty heathens, man. There's no need for it. There's no need. But we're gonna go back to that, man. The land of Benjamin, because we could get Jeremiah 23. When we go back into the land, the land is gonna be divided again according to tribe. And then you're gonna have Benjamin, you're gonna have Judah. All your neighbors are gonna be of your tribe. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's meant to be. Yeah.
Right.
Of course, you travel in and amongst each other and do but you love the stranger. You take care of the stranger, the other Israelite that comes through. I'm not man saying, he's a guy that get him out of here. No, obviously, no way, man.
Once
No way.
The new covenant's established, man. Right?
Yeah,
We're all gonna love each other.
It's not that, but I'm just saying you are gonna be divided. You know what I'm saying? You got your own inheritance, man, among your own tribe.
Yep.
And that's just how it was meant to be. The Lord wants to order things in that manner.
Yep.
Not like now where you look at your neighborhood, man. More than likely, it's just gonna be a mixture of random dons. Might get the Eastern European man over there, so like,
The Lord wants everybody to have their own thing, man.
Yeah, man. That'd be
That's how the Lord separated us.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Right. Numbers 23, verse 9. What do you want to read up?
You can, if you want.
Numbers 23, verse 7. And he took up the parable and said, Balak, king of Moab, hath brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come defy Israel. How shall I curse whom God hath not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom the Lord hath not defied? For the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you could correct me on this. We actually had a particular way that we would march, right? I know there was a positioning in the right, if I remember correctly, there was an actual positioning based upon the ark. So I know the Levites with the ark, but then each tribe had a position in the way we would move, right? The Lord, it weren't just like random, like man was just randomly walking in the same direction and everybody was everywhere. Each tribe had a specific position. Even when we would camp, I believe there was a specific position where they would camp. Yeah. So yeah, man, the Lord deals with order, man. Oh.
From the tops of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations.
So that cuts the whole Martin Luther, I had a dream, and all this bullshit of white boys and black boys. Listen, man, it's corny. We ain't supposed to be together like that. Yeah, by that I mean Edomites and Jake together as one, mixing, and no. The Bible tells you, right? We're supposed to dwell alone. What does it mean to dwell alone? Because we're gonna have slaves. And what it means to dwell alone is like we're the owners of our lands. We're the landlords. Exactly. We're the first-class citizens in our domain. Then there's the slaves. They're lower classes, but we all amongst each other. When we walk in the street, there's another man. That's who we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? There's somewhere to eat. Man turning up. It's our people up in there eating, getting served. They might be getting served by some dusty heathens, but we ain't sitting next to no dusty heathen. Ain't no heathen gonna be sitting at my table.
Our conversation ain't with the heathen.
Yeah, like when I throw a feast, there's not gonna be a bag of heathens there eating on my table. It's just gonna be my brothers, man. My brothers, like other brothers from tribe. That's the man them that's gonna be there out there. We're gonna dwell alone. We were never meant to be. We were never meant to be mix. Yeah.
We have things in common. You have things in common with other nations, man.
We're not supposed to be integrated and assimilated and mixed in with other people. We're supposed to dwell alone, by ourselves, standing alone. Right? Go on, read on.
I got this point of view.
Oh, yeah, go on, get it.
This is the book of number 1 and the 50.
Yeah, I'll read it again.
Number 1 and 51. And when the tabernacle settles forward, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
The stranger, and that stranger would be of another nation, because I'm sure the word there for that would probably be Nakar, right? Have you got the blue letter on that? more than likely 99.9% the Hebrew word that was used there would have to be nakar. What scripture was that?
Number 1 and 51.
Number 1 and 51. I could be wrong, because there's certain situations they might use a different Hebrew word, but usually when it's something like that, the word would be nakar, which represents a foreigner, so anything foreign, anything from another nation. Nakar.
Zura, this one.
Yeah, because that's another word that would be. So you had nakar and you got zuar,
That's a
which
less frequent one.
which is also used for basically a stranger or another nation,
Yeah.
or a foreigner or enemy. Yeah. It wouldn't be gar, because gar is someone who is basically just a sojourner. So it could be an Israelite that's sojourning. So for instance, if you're a temporary inhabitant, so say like you're in the land of Benjamin, yeah, and Gadite was to come and be living in the land of Benjamin, he would be considered a gar. Or if he was visiting, he would be considered a gar, a sojourner. Just that the Levites were counted as sojourners because they had no inherited rights in that particular place. And so whenever you see the word gar, it's usually talking about Israelite sojourner. But then Zuar and Nakar is usually used for like heathens. And a heathen can come near the tabernacle.
And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their host.
Right. So the Lord always dealt with us being in order, and we're gonna go back to that order. Right? Now, where was the mixed multitude? They were outside the camp, man. These people always talking about the mixed multitude, but the Lord didn't say, yeah, and the mixed multitude were the cattle and that, man. The Lord wasn't dealing with the mixed multitude.
So I was just reading in the
Hence why he didn't even give the worst thing about it, yeah. The Lord didn't even give them respect, yeah, to respectively detail who the hell they were. That's actual proof. They weren't even numbered. Like in terms of like, okay, so there was this amount of Elamites, there was this amount of, it just said mixed multitude. You know what that sounds like to me? Miscellaneous. Just like, random ones. Like, yeah, them man over there, them man there. That is the literal definition of them man there. Yeah. The Lord never said, yeah, and ordered them and let the Elamites set their tent here and let the. No, man. Yeah, look, man. Israel came out of Egypt, numbered off the Judah, Benjamin. Oh yeah, and there was some cattle and some mixed multitude, some random duns. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was reading here. I'm going into it more, right? Gesenius Hebrew Charlie Lexicon. It's got this mentioned in here, right? And read down a little bit. This is part A. Stranger, strange, especially of another nation, an alien by birth.
There you go. An alien. So the Bible deals with aliens, man.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, dude. And we don't want to part with no aliens, man. Simple as that. Yeah, so that verse we just read about, they shall not be reckoned. What does it mean, reckon? Recognize among, they shall not be reckoned among the nations. That means when our name called, no one else's name should be mentioned with that.
And that's why we're holy.
We're holy.
Because we're separate. We're not grouped together with other nations. We're separated from them.
What they call it, diversity. They ain't meant to be no bomber clock diversity, inclusion. And that's you, Jake's problem. Everything that everyone else gets, you want to be a part of. Well, we want an Oscar. Bro, we're supposed to have our own thing. We're supposed to be our own judges. Our honors is the highest honor. We're supposed to be able to award. Them man are supposed to be looking for our approval. You're looking for them man approval. You're looking for the approval of them man and to sit next to my man and eat. Oh, I want to use the same toilet as a white man. Let me tell you something for free. I want to just be honest with you. In the kingdom of heaven, no Edomite is going to be using my toilet. Do you know? I show you these niggas, man. Do you know? You see the Arab man, yeah? You know them Arab man that come to London and buy up them homes, the ones that actually they're going to live here. Do you know what the first thing they do when they buy a new house? They rip out the bathroom and install everything fresh. They will not use a toilet or a bathroom that someone else other than them, their family has been using. Do you know why? Because they have a fucking superior, higher class mentality. They're not trying to rest their bum cheek on a next thing that a next man has rest his bum cheek. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. But meanwhile, Jake is like, please, I just want to use the same. I don't want to use my own toilets. I want to use the same toilet as the white man. Bro, I'm telling you, in the kingdom, they're not using our toilets. They're not. They're not using our toilets. They're not using our cutlery. They're not gonna use our glasses. Can you imagine an Edomite drinking from your glass, blood? You just listen, blood. You just melt, man, like he is glass, blood. Like it's a dude. What's it called? What's my man? Superman. Dark Side, blood. This is fucking Omega beam. That dude. Are you mad? You walk up in an establishment in Jerusalem and there's an Edomite sitting there eating like, I'm walking out. Obviously, I ain't meant to be here. This must be for the slaves. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of there, brother. Like, what am I doing here? Why is this guy sitting down with a plate? Like, no. Who let me in here? This can't be right. That's the kind of mentality you're supposed to have. You walk up in the club and you see bare Edomites. Nah, this ain't my spot. I ain't supposed to be in there with these foul creatures. That's how you're meant to be. I'm getting out of here, man. This ain't where I'm meant to be. Segregated, man. So segregation is coming back, and that is certified by the Hebrew Israelites. You heard it here. Yeah, go ahead now.
This book of Exodus 19 and the 6 and 3. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an ordination. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
You ain't supposed to listen. One way to know whether you're royalty or not is who's around you. You ain't rolling up in no McDonald's, yeah. Like, and then this is why Edomites of a certain stature set price points the way they do and make sure that any staff that acts negatively towards Negroes is protected. I remember one time I had a brethren, he used to live in Ascot. And them man tried to move him off the golf course. Man's like, hold on, but I live here. I got a right to be on this golf course. Of course they're going to pressure him. Because as far as they're concerned, you ain't really meant to be here. There's a reason why I paid all this money to be here. I want to be around my people and my class. Like, why are you here? Then they start moving out. That's why when Jake moved into an area and too many Jake end up in that area, the Edomites are like, yeah, we're leaving. Because I'm not meant to be here. You know what I mean? They're not meant. It's either they're not meant to be here or I'm not meant to be here. It's one of the two. When you look around and you see the type of people that's around you in a place, it should match who you are. If it don't, then you're either just like them or something's gone wrong. So if I turn up, like for instance, if I turn up to a place and there's bare ratchet people there, I instantly know I'm in the wrong place. Because if all these ratchet people are here, either I'm ratchet or I'm in the wrong place. That's the way I look at it. You ain't gonna see Prince Harry. Listen, you go for eat dinner. What are the chances that Prince Harry is gonna be, or Prince William is gonna be sitting there where you are? There's a reason for that. You've got to be up on Prince William's level for him to be sitting next to you on a table eating. You understand? Because there's levels. Only for a photo up, a photo of saying.
You know, man got the.
You're not gonna rub shoulders. That's why you get all these women talking about how they want a high value man. You are not. You do not have the connections or the expertise or the money to be even in the place where these people are. You're just not.
That's why you gotta get the invitation.
You're usually gonna be around your own class of people. That's where you have access to. You feel me? You're not. I'm not gonna go to a gym and Prince William's in the gym. It's just unlikely. I know, but that gym's. Do you understand what I'm saying, man? You're not gonna see like Vin Diesel in your gym. If you're some low down dude. So that's the way we're supposed to look at ourselves. That if we're royal people, if we're a holy people, then our spaces are supposed to be holy and supposed to be exclusive to our status. Our land's exclusive to our status. And anyone that's there is a worker or they're on a lower level where you barely see them. They're part of the furniture. They're not talking. They're the backgrounds, like the animals, like the birds and the bees flying around. It's part of it. So get that out of your brain, man. We're bringing back segregation, man. A lot of things, men and women are supposed to be segregated as well. Like you started to realize it's true. You go up in the gym, women shouldn't be there. They should, if they're going to be working out, they should be in their own gyms. There shouldn't be no mixed gyms and mix this and mix that. If you're going to be mixed, it should be in the privacy of your own home where it's just you and your family. In the public, it shouldn't be mixed.
Even a while ago, it wasn't even that different because obviously you had boys and girls separate parts of the school. They were
Yeah,
separate.
it should be separate. It saves so much trouble. The last thing you want when you go in the gym and you want to do a workout and you got this attention-seeking hoe up in there, and even if she's not, she shouldn't be there. It should just be a raw man pause up in there, and then you just do your workout and go. And then she goes to her gym and it's only women in there and they do their workout and do what they're doing and go. So many things should be separate. Sauna should be separate. You know what I'm saying? But this kingdom just, they don't want to do the segregation thing, but it should be. But anyway, yeah, let's get another scripture and we close up. You got anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is applying to spiritual things and amongst our people, but same could be applied, for us concerning, the other nations, man. So we read this in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And the other nations are unbelievers.
They are unbelievers.
So, it applies, isn't it? All right, so for what fellowship have righteous with unrighteous? What fellowship do we really have with the heathen?
I stink. Blood, East Ham? That district line, blood? Oh, man.
Yeah. What we really got to do with the heathen, man? Nothing. We're made different to them.
We got a different destiny.
Way, different everything, man.
Different history.
Yeah.
They're not familiar.
Mm.
They're enemies they've been enemies more than friends. Like, what's the point?
All right. So for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? Which is different, man. And we're meant to be with our own kind. To be like my the Lord said, where it was written about finding those that like-minded to you in the scriptures that believe, right? That's what we're looking for, like-minded, like people. And
you know what you have to always remember is that if they could be on the top of with the expense that you were at the bottom, they would do it. Because they don't give a fuck. And this is the truth about, if you ain't learned nothing from the history of mankind, know this truth. One people will happily be on top and just oppress everyone else, innit? As long as them men are getting the goodies, innit? Man don't give a fuck. The men don't care and the women don't care.
Every people prefer their own.
They're gonna do what they got to do to be on the top. So
by definition, that's racist.
Yeah.
Right? But that's just the truth, right? And ain't nothing wrong with being racist. To prefer your own people. It's not to be, I've got to be hateful to you. It's not really to do with that.
You just want to do what
you believe in your people more than anybody else, man.
Yeah,
you prefer your own people.
Yeah, and they do that. That's why you go to the Shell garage and bear Sri Lankan work in there. Because they make sure they hire their own Sri Lankan people. Even in the these opticians, they know what they're doing. Like the Asian man, they make sure, mainly the Indian, not so much the Pakistanis, man. That's why they look down on the Pakistanis. Mainly the Indians of certain castes, particular castes, they lock down the professional jobs. And then they make sure, because certain jobs you need work experience. So what they do is they swap the work experience between each other. So it's like, you're a doctor and I'm a lawyer. So your son is going to come work with me to get work experience to be a lawyer. And then in return, my son is going to come and get work experience underneath you. That's how they work. Now, Jake don't necessarily work like that because Jake don't have no proper structure. But these other nations, they look out for each other. They work together. They do business with each other. They make sure they shop in their own businesses before they shop in other people's businesses. Like they're about themselves, isn't it? And we're supposed to be about ours, man. About billions, about doing our thing and our people.
I think we're so bugged out. When we ain't got shops like that a lot of the time anyway. But when you do, man, they'll treat you like arseholes.
Nah,
I don't want to go in there.
that's just Benjamin.
He's like, you know, there's a whole lot of Romanian shops open up recently, innit?
Yeah.
Why the fuck don't I want to go in there?
Yeah, I ain't got.
I've got no reason to go in there. I mean, there's you know, some 15s in there, not gonna lie sometimes, yeah, but I'm not gonna go in there. Yeah. But I ain't gonna go in there to shop.
Is it talking about the cafes?
No, some of them got shops as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not just cafes, but you know, there's one.
Probably a brothel.
I'll be quiet. But yeah, but why would I go shopping there? They've got no reason to go in there. They got their own brands. They got their own foods that they like eating. You know, they eat a lot of pork. So why would I go in there? Sausages and shit. Why would I go in there?
Of course. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go where I'm used to, innit? Or you know, because there's not a lot of Jake places to go to. And when you do, they're overcharging or you know, just treating you like idiots, innit? So you know, you go to where you're familiar with, innit? But we'll have our own places, man. We'll have our own shops. And, you know, that's what it's gonna be like. And we're gonna go to our shop. We're gonna go to our businesses, man.
Yep.
Why would I need to go to Esau if I got a brother that's doing these things?
Yeah. If Esau is just gonna be under commands. You know, they're gonna be serving, and that's really what it's gonna be. They're just gonna be serving. All right, you got Jeremiah 23. Yeah, we can. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, less, I mean, people of common descent, people descend from a common ancestors, class of person allied by common ancestors.
Sorry, it's lucky. And the scripture also speaks about our fathers. That's our common descent. We do with our fathers, and you know, our bloodline, man.
And you know what the beautiful thing about common descent and bloodline is? You have a common destiny. You have a common destiny, and all Israel has a common destiny. We have a common destiny that we have. Hey, this is what we do. One thing we do know: all you Edomites, you got a common destiny too. Yeah, it's peak. Yeah, you got destiny with the laser beam, with the fire, with perdition. You have that in common. You could talk about that over a drink, over a whiskey, you know, a good bourbon, about that day that's coming.
As you also say in French, you say les Lazar, les breed lineage family.
Yeah, familia. Which is where you get the word team. Where you get the word team, man. Which that's been all. The word team has been bastardized to such a degree that look at these nations, man. Half of these nations, you look at the national team, they're just stealing Jakes, man. They're just stealing Jakes. Like if there was
national citizenship,
if the teams were just the tribes, it would be a madness. Like imagine if Benjamin, had a football team.
Too much talent, bro.
Well, it would have been like we know, like back in the day. Then you're talking about Ashley Cole at the back. You got Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell. Pause. There, you got me there. Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell. Yeah, Rio Ferdinand. Yeah, who you got on the right back? Anyone, it don't matter. It could have been anyone. We had some Glenn. No, not Glenn. Is it Glenn John?
For the England team?
No, just Benjamin to choose from. Oh yeah, because you still had the bad man like
that's what I'm saying.
Like all them man over there, like Thuram and Desiree, and then you go into midfield. You got Clarence Seedorf and fucking Edgar Davids. Madness. Yeah, on the wings, it's mad, and then up front, it's even getting worse. Andy Cole, Dwight York, Henry. Oh man, Claire Clive. Oh man, yo, if Benjamin had his own team, because that's what the word team means. The word team means people of a common descent. So if they had a real World Cup, and it was just there was a team for Benjamin. But then look at Jamaica. Jamaica through, bro, because all the good Jamaicans are playing for England, man. Sterling and you know, they all play for England and shit. All the good Ghanaians, they play for European teams as well. And the good Nigerians.
The bowl team, bro, is play for Germany. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's Esau just jacking up all the man them and then leaving losing all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not right, man. So yeah, France, bro, France is pure Jake, man. It's pure Jake on the team, man. Even Turam's son's playing now, and I think he's a winger or up front. Yo, that team, if we had a Benjamin team, that team would have been different type of gravy, man. I'm telling you, it would have been a madness. Brazil, hey, Asher would be struggling, man. You know, hey, but a lot of them Brazilians, Judah and Benjamin too, that were playing. Because remember, you had Judah and Benjamin mixed in with Asher over there too. So we might even, hopefully, Ronaldinho was one of our man, but I think he's Asher. I think Adriano might be one of our man there. You know what I mean? Hey.
As I say, France were nothing until they was grabbing, you know, the so-called Jake from Africa, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Jake from Africa.
France 98. Well, that was a big thing because they said Africa won France 98.
You know? Everyone want to be Brazil, bro. You know, get them World Cups. You know?
Even now, they got Pogba. Ain't France got Pogba, Kante, Mbappé, yeah. But they could keep him, man. I heard some shit with some Chinese shit, man. You know, but he's still a bad boy, still. You know? Yeah, Benjamin would be madness, man. Go on.
Jeremiah 23 on the
54-man squad. Yeah. Yeah. You be having selection problems. What formations do you play? Shit. Yeah, man.
Jeremiah 23:1. Worthy unto the pastor that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord.
The sheep of the pasture. The Israel, the land of Israel represents the Lord's pasture, and the Israelites represent his sheep. Go on.
Therefore, thus said the Lord, power of Israel against the pastors and against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away.
And that's what's happened. That's why the tribes are scattered all over the place, man. And like there's main places where we are, but then if you just look, every tribe is really, there's bits and pieces of us all over the place, man. You know what I mean? There's Benjamin everywhere. Benjamin is, yeah, in the islands, but then you got Benjamin in Canada, in America, in South America, in the UK, or in Suriname, because most of them Suriname, Jake's all up in the Dutch. You know, that's why Seedorf and all them, man, and yeah, all over China, everywhere, man. All the tribes are scattered and mixed up everywhere.
But it's the separation that keeps us weak. You know, and Esau knows that. You know. Yep.
Yeah, man, them don't even realize how familiar we are, man. Like we're literally, you know,
because we're divided by language or whatever, man.
Or cities, man.
Yeah.
Or even in the same city, man, are divided. Yeah. Mad, shooting each other.
Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, said the Lord, and I will gather the remnant of my flock.
Right, so the Lord has said, so when the Israelites speak about what the Lord's going to do concerning Israel, it's prophecy. That's why we're speaking about Israel, the remnant of the Lord flock he's going to gather. But how is he going to do that? Who is the agent of that gathering? Yahushai. That's why the scripture says that Yahushai is going to send the angels. They're going to gather together the elect from the four winds. That's the same thing that we're reading about here. Go on.
And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them.
So Israel is going to be in all these different countries and lands, speaking all these different languages, even looking like the other nations as well. Go on.
And I will bring them again to their foes.
It says bring them again to their folds. What does that mean? What does that mean by to their folds? Because when you go out into the countryside, right? If you ever get a chance to go out in the countryside, well, in the UK, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's good. It's nice. Yeah, like you go out, what you'll notice is the land will be divided by hedges or walls. Those hedges and walls are folds, and then sometimes you'll see some sheep in this one, and then like two over, then you see some sheep in that. The shepherds divide their sheep up into different folds, and the folds have border lines. So the folds that the Lord is talking about here is the borders of the tribes that the Lord set up. The Lord, you know, you lot will have from here to here. Joshua created borders for the different tribes. The Lord is going to do that again. So when we get brought back into Israel again, the Lord is going to say, yeah, Judah, that's your bit there. Benjamin, from Deso to Deso, that's yours. Gad, from there to there, that's yours. And so on and so forth. The Lord is going to give out land, well, like Joshua did previously. Yeah, this time Yahweh Shai is going to do it. So we ain't going to just be living, and that's proof that 1948ers, that's not prophecy, because they're not living in the folds. They're divided the land in a European style into states and postcodes.
They haven't even got the full extent of the land.
Yeah, that's another point.
You know? When Yahweh Shai comes and gives us, puts us back in our borders, man, we're going to be given the full extent of those borders, man. You know?
And they shall be fruitful and increase, and I will set up
Fruitful and increase, meaning what? That we're going to be procreating and multiplying in the land. So you got these fools talking about, oh, in the kingdom of heaven we're not having sex. Then how the hell are we going to increase? We're going to be multiplying, man. That's part of life. Go on.
and I will set up shepherd over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, say the Lord.
And that's talking about the 144,000. The 144,000 of those shepherds that the Lord's going to set up. So that's directly, that prophecy is directly linked to Revelations, the 7th chapter. Right? Because remember, what did it say to Peter? Feed my sheep. Peter was one of those shepherds. Who? The apostles, the disciples. It represents the 12 apostles and the rest of the order on down, which was 12,000 from each tribe. That's the order. That's the government, the nobility that's going to order the tribes.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch,
Yahweh Shai, yeah.
a righteous branch, and a king shall learn and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord of our righteousness.
Right, so that's the point on that. So when we say that segregation is coming back, we just read it, because he ain't coming back to put us in the land of Israel and it'll be a mixture of all different people. No, we're going to be the landowners. It's going to be our lands and our folds. Now, are there going to be heathens that's going to be around? Yeah, because we're going to have slaves, but they're not going to be landowners. They're just going to be the help. Yeah, the minorities that's there to do the work. But it's our land. It's our setup. They're going to be there like slave. Like when they had the plantations, the Jake didn't own the land. They were living on the plantation that their master owned.
Yep.
That's why they're called Americans and you Negroes are called African Americans, because it's nothing to do with you. It's them. They set that shit up and they running it.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to be running our thing. All right. Go on.
Therefore, behold, the days come, say the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all country whither I had driven them.
So that's America and everywhere else that we've been scattered, man. Okay, but America is that focal place, man. Okay, the main place of our captivity.
Yeah, that's the main. That's the north. Yeah, that's the north country. But we're scattered all over, man. Even all up in the North Pole, man. The Inuit people, they're Jakes, man. They migrated from North America. That's Gaddon now. They didn't come from China, man. They migrated north. So then you got a lot of tribes that even on the other side, because they migrated north up through Canada, over into the northern parts, and then over onto the other side, which is why you got certain of them tribes that's on the Mongolian side. Then some of them are Jakes too, because they went over. But then Esau lied, you know how Esau do, and do it arse backwards, and said their man came up and over the other way.
Yeah, rather than read the accounts that were there written already, man, try to make his own account up, you know.
Esau's a devil, man.
Don't worry about what they said. This is how they did it. You know, that
Yeah.
arrogant shit.
Esau's a liar, man. But now, guess what? Through Elon Musk, they got internet, man. So they're watching the brothers. They got the Starlink, yeah. Yeah. They got the unicorn, man. Yeah, go on now. We close.
I was going to say, and they shall dwell in their own land.
They shall dwell in our own land. Yeah,
And dwell alone.
dwell alone. Not no mix up, and all this business. Move into a neighborhood and Edomite owns a house there, and another Edomite owns a house there, and you just own a house there. You got a Moabite next to you. It's bullshit, man.
Because look at all the problems that we had with the heathen that we didn't destroy. We went into the land of Israel.
Yeah, that's
You know, they caused problems for us, man.
yeah. They weren't even meant to be there. Yeah.
That's the point. And the Lord never wanted them there with us, man. But our fall had to come some way, right?
Mm.
So the heathen were a thorn in our side and caused all these problems and issues with us. And we went into the idol worship because we were surrounded by them. We allowed them to, well, the Most High had it where they corrupted us, man. You know? So they ain't going to be seen, but they're going to be working, but they ain't going to be there with any type of power or influence.
Well,
You
we're gonna be under the new covenant anyway, so we wouldn't
Yeah,
be
that's right.
we wouldn't be getting into no idolatry. But it's supposed to be like pure in terms of our ownership of the land. The land was promised to us, innit? So no one else can't own the land. As simple as that. It's our land. Like it's not gonna be like how it is now, where everyone can go and buy land everywhere, and then you got in London, you got a bunch of Arabs owning this and a bunch of Chinese owning this, and it's not gonna be like that. That's bullshit. That's scum, and I hate where I live right now because you brothers. I didn't even tell you what happened. I'll tell you when we're done. You know, I'm surrounded in between two Edomites here. Got Af Jake across there, Eastern European here, another Jake here. It's just pure. And then around the other corner, around the bend, as you come through, Bear Elam. You know what I mean? It's bullshit, man. But anyway, we'll close up with that. We'll say, Kal Halal, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kadash. Double honors to your apostles and elders, a great millstone. And honor to you brothers on the highways and the byways. Shalom.